When something is for sale, it speaks to the owner's whereabouts. And again, it gets distorted because our culture is for sale. Hip hop is for sale. These conversations are for sale. There's business being had on the backs of our conversations in our culture, on the backs of music in our culture. So the culture is for sale. But before I deal with the outcome of what you get when things are for sale, I need to deal with the mindset of us in the culture for having our most prized possession for sale. When we say we control cool, when we say we need to be more influential in telling our own stories, but we ignore one another. The culture is for sale and they outpricing black people. That's what the problem is. The culture is for sale and they outpricing black people. We got 5,000 outlets. We got niggas everywhere doing podcasts and shows. We got networks. We got sports shows. We got all the smoke. We got our I Am Athlete. We got all kind of shit going on. We got It's Up There Podcast, Big Facts Podcast, Drinks Champs Podcast. We got all kind of shows all around the world. And we can't find a way to collaborate those. What make you bitches different than the bitches that you niggas talk about in these rap songs? You let these the Full Seeing podcast come over, build their whole brand in the last year or so. Build their whole brand off culture, right? Which is listen, they don't even play with you. They sit next to you with your album about to drop and say, I don't really listen to it like that. And we laugh it off. Hey, yo, get your money, my nigga, but go holler at your people when it come to selling something. And let me be clear with this, because some people will say, yo, Loon, man, it's kind of entitled to thing. Because, yo, what I'm telling you is there's a formula when these records come out. There's a formula when these albums come out. There's a formula when there's a launching of an NFT, a launching of a brand. There's things that have to take place by some of the biggest names in our culture. And what they do is they move around us. But how do they move around you, Loon? Well, the culture is for sale, young, and they outpricing black folks. When you hear a man say, I need $85,000 for an interview. When you hear a dude say, yo, I need $40,000 for an interview, right? If you uninterested, that's one thing. You'll get to them. I'm talking about the ones that mean something in the culture. It's a couple people popping it that you got to go stop by and holler at them for. These dudes is high level game. Tekashi 6ix9ine ain't a civilian. He a wannabe. See, it's a difference now. A wannabe is damn near a civilian. And some of these is just wannabes. They damn near civilians. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really getting no money in the street. They kind of just out there in the way. Like you damn near a civilian, which make you a wannabe, which you gonna end up being homeless. Because you can't straddle the fence in life. You gotta pick a side. So you ain't gonna never go get a job because you don't want it to cramp your style. Because if they see you at a job, it's gonna solidify you ain't no street nigga. So I'm saying, so you will never go get a job, but guess what else you ain't gonna do? You ain't gonna hustle either, because you definitely don't want to go to jail. Because, boy, if you go to jail, they gonna definitely figure out that you really ain't, you see? So you gonna just straddle the fence and end up homeless. So what you need to do is identify who you fucking with. I call niggas who like 6ix9ine wannabes. Them niggas is damn near civilians. Let's listen to what little dude said.
Culture. They say there is a show birthed every minute, but very few can carry the torch for this generation. We have never witnessed someone who can speak to the people and for the people. The conversation you're about to hear is of the highest level of game. Any inability to connect to the frequency speaks to the whereabouts of your understanding. To approach the game in this way is to dive in deep water, and we know good swimmers do drown. But this is for the motivated. No cosign needed. Dealing with information. I'm Morgan. Your host is Big Loon. And this is It's Up There Podcast.
Yes, Lord. Round of applause for my motherfucking support. I want to send a shout out to y'all, man. Y'all keep me alive in this space, man. You know who you listening to, man. Big homie, biggest homie. It's Up There Podcast, Big Loon. I come to say thank you for tuning in, tapping in with me. You know, it's so much I got to talk about this week, man. I just be feeling like the game just need me to come, man. Right at these little time, like, got everything happening and the world, it seemed like the world waiting. So many people hit me up, man. I can't wait to hear what you say about Tekashi and that Ack and that Wack and that Hassan and Big U and that Joe Budden and Ack sat down talking about all that podcast shit you was saying. They confirmed everything. And I'm just like, yo, give me a second. You're dealing with the biggest podcast in the world. But again, welcome. Circumstantial evidence on a lot of the things that's out right now, man. Niggas is saying what, you know, numbers they ranking and how much they being paid and how they viewed in the market, right? I love these conversations. This is what I do. This is how I talk. This is what I bring to the game. This is my whole thing. It's for the game to realize that we don't got to sit up and gossip. We can digest information, right? Now, to a small mind, depending on who's talking and the passionate voices and the theatrics around it, they may view that as a shouting match or as gossip. Not those that understand diamond mining. See, you gotta know how to get all that mud and dirt from around and extract the diamond out of it. That's what we doing on this side. But you gotta be high level jujitsu mind type nigga to fuck with this here. You can't be a low level thinker and even understand what I'm saying, because I throw analogy on top of analogy on top of analogy and then break that last analogy down. Now they all coincide, but you may have missed the first one if you wasn't listening. You see what I'm saying? So it's just and I ain't the only one of my kind. It's many of us. It's a bunch of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of dudes I get game from, and it's high level shit. You know, I come in the game though, man, just to talk about podcasting and just to talk about where it currently sits, what it means to me, how much I kind of plan to putting into it in the next few years, and where I see the business going. I'm viewing a lot of things now. I do want to give credit to a lot of the guys that's in podcasting in my niche, because for those of you who know, I'm outside of my niche in regards to projections and also in regards to brand integration. So I'm in a position because of the conversations that I want to have, and also because of the hours of understanding I have about topics abroad from just our culture, and some things may be counterculture. My ability to dance in those arenas will give me leverage to be able to build audience in some areas that some of our people may have some arrested development. So I feel confident about that, because again, I just got to trust the game. I tell people all the time, I tell myself, and what's crazy is I've been having to tell myself this more and more, because as you get closer to things and as things are happening, you just got to be like, yo, trust the game. You put the game in. You gave your life to the street. Everything you learned in the street, trust that. You read books for 4, 5, 6 years straight. You didn't come outside. You read books. You got into reading. You went and done this and done that and figured this out, and jujitsu here and that, and you went and done some things to tighten up. And so trust that with your life experience. See, you can find a place to go and get the jujitsu training I got. You know what I'm saying? The light training I did in regards to just trying to be more mentally fit, be more mentally strong, because I know life is 90% of mental warfare, and I'm still working on that, because if you can be broke mentally, you have a problem. And you do not know if you can be broke mentally until you take yourself outside of that comfort zone that you currently sit in. And so jiu-jitsu makes you become a beginner. And oftentimes in my life, man, I've become afraid of being a beginner. And that's a mistake. And so I tell myself, Loon, you gotta go be a beginner at things. You gotta do things new, because what happens is it trains your mind on how to handle adversity. And adversity will appear in your life whether your financial situation is secure or not. You're gonna deal with adversity, so you gotta place yourself in situation where you damn near mimic adversity to be prepared for it. As counterproductive as it might sound, they got to spar several times before that boxing match. They got to literally get in there and throw hands. Boom, boom, like not fake throw them, not just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, uppercut 1, 2. Nah, they got to throw them. They got to get swung back on it, because that's the only way to get in simulation. And so for me, man, I got a number one right now. You know, I pop a lot of shit and it's a lot of work to be done, but right now I'm creating my value, right? My ability to podcast, my ability to talk to the people, create conversation, be at the forefront and have a charitable donation to the current culture and also counter culture is there. I got that, right? I need to be positioned in place to be able to contribute in a way that really matters to the culture. Now, half of that is on Loon in regards to what kind of conversations you have. We plan to do that in a way where that's undeniable, right? So we plan to think tank and really do that in a way where that's undeniable. But we also need to be, with the help of our partners, in a position to really try to put the brand at the forefront. And with that marriage, man, we'll blow the podcast up in no time and be at the forefront. And it's a lot of game in the middle of that, man. But I just want to tell the young niggas, man, that listen to me and get game from me and come to me for the vibes. You know, I want to tell y'all, like, create your value, solidify your legacy, identify your attributes. You know, all that. I be saying, like, make sure that that's what you're doing, right? In every situation. You know, I just left yesterday. 85 South was in the town. I went down there and fuck with them. Shout out 85 South. And I went to their show, right? We get in the show, you know, and the DJ, shout out Filthy Rich, man, doing his thing. DJ Filthy Rich on there doing his one too. So he taking care of his business. I'm like, he killing him. Man, how about I look to my right? Now I'm in my town, so you know everything is comfortable for me. I'm comfortable at home. So I look to the right, they thumping. Boom, fire, boom, boom. And he got the lights off with that Meek Mill going. I said, you can't play that Meek Mill. Let me find that Meek Mill. I'm gonna show you which song it was. I'm like, so it was really going down. I had a good time. They did a good show. You know, I went to support the homies. They always support me, you know, the business side of things over there, man. I got a lot of relationships with them, and that's a beautiful thing, man. It's great to see what they bring to comedy. We'll get right into the show today. We're going to start with the Joe Budden and DJ Akademiks conversation. So it's going to be a lot of podcast talk today. It's going to be a lot of business talk. A lot of talk that should intrigue the mind of people who enjoy the business, enjoy the game, enjoy the culture. Plus, we're gonna try to learn at the same time, or just examine ideas, man. To me, it's nothing more powerful than examine ideas. There's nothing more powerful than that. For those of you unaware, Joe Budden went and sat with Akademiks. I called far back that he probably wouldn't do it. And I want you guys to understand why I would say something like that. I'm a savvy thinker. I understand the business of podcasting, and I've been overexposed. And so my consumer mind has just been compromised. So I look at things and I view them from a different standpoint. I do believe that Spotify signed Akademiks because they want to tap into the Joe Budden audience, not just the black demo audience either. See, because Loon, I'm a savvy one. You're dealing with the best podcast that they have to offer on the market right now, right? Spotify didn't sign Akademiks just because they wanted to get that demo. They wanted Joe Budden's people. Now, 100% no. No, not 100%, but the idea that they didn't do business with Akademiks because of Joe Budden would be a decision, would be a statement that I would have to ignore wholeheartedly. right? So we deal with Akademiks, who was an unproven talent in the market. Nobody mentioned that when they had this conversation that we're about to speak about. And each one of you guys, y'all got to call me. I'll be up there. We need to have a conversation. There's a lot more podcast talk. There's a lot more. If we going to talk about it, let's talk about it. We got a lot more to talk about, right? So, but Akademiks came into this podcast market with nothing, unproven. There's no way he warranted a Spotify deal. He was an unproven guy. Right? You say we did a pilot with Tekashi. That's nothing. Right? Because Spotify is in the business of podcasting. What do you mean when you say that, Loon? Well, what I mean is they know that if they put a big name next to anyone, that it'll drive some numbers for one episode. That's not what podcasting is about. Are we going to acknowledge the indicators? Or are we going to just start to ignore them just so we can still possess a narrative? Because for me, I'm going to really have a conversation, right? Why did Spotify sign DJ Akademiks? In my opinion, they would have signed Rory and Mal as well. Right? I think Rory and Mal might would have said, damn, maybe they kind of may look a little way. In my opinion, it wouldn't. It would have looked even more crazy for Joe, but they could have took a deal at Spotify. But again, unproven by themselves. But in my opinion, maybe Rory and Mal would have been a better move than Ak at that time. You know, maybe now they look at the numbers as a different thing. But Rory and Mal at that particular time coming off that leverage. But again, they know that it ain't about one episode. Yo, can you sustain the audience? What I say all the time, it's about staying power. Take me anywhere in the world. If I can only stay one day, it ain't worth nothing. Take me to the biggest mansion in Italy and tell me it's mine. Do what I want, but give me a day to get there. And a day, just give me one whole day to get there, land, see it a little bit, and have to fly back. I'm just a waste of my time. I need staying power. Nobody don't care. You can get the Four Seasons one night, the Fontainebleau one night, the Penthouse one night. You drive the Bentley one day, right? What's the staying power like around here? So again, I know that both these guys was unproven in the market. So now, if you go back and listen to this up there podcast, I've been said Spotify was hoarding audiences. I didn't know the professional term for it, but I come out the street, so I'm using that terminology, which still resonated and caused those clips to go viral. But I knew what they were doing because that's what they do. They think tank and they say, how do we get everybody? So at first, you know, again, I thought because of those relationships that Joe Budden wouldn't go sit on Spotify to do that. Now, but Joe wants Ak on his. And one thing I can say about DJ Akademiks, you guys say what you want about him now. He says and does some things that to me are not conducive with being from the streets, right? He do a lot of shit that ain't conducive with being from the streets, so it can be irritable. But when we talk about his business, he handles himself amongst these giants, because Joe Budden and these Charlemagnes and these Rosenbergs, these dudes are giants in this space now. Right? An unproven guy that's able to move around like that, something needs to be said about that. So I give you kudos on that. Now, what I will say is that in that moment, it was a trade for Joe. Like, I'm not just coming to get on yours. You got to get on mine. So Joe did it. And Joe needed him right then because his name is bubbling right now, and Ak looks at it like that. Ak is not dumb to that. Trust me, Ak's not stupid to. I got the Tekashi thing going on with Wack and Hassan. My podcast is booming, and now we get to sit down. He probably been wanting to sit down with Joe. Matter of fact, I know he have because I got the files. I know Akademiks been wanting to sit down with Joe. I got the files. So again, let's move past that. So then the new question becomes, if they sit down, what do they talk about? You know, is Rory and Mal off the table? Does Parks, did he say anything about Parks? Has he said anything about Ish? See, there's another thing about to happen in this game that I'm already ahead of. A lot of these people are in a position now where they're going to have to align themselves with people that may have disagreed with them publicly for the sake of the content, to save the content, right? Because we're in a position now where the worlds are colliding. These big people are stepping out to get on the internet because boy, it's some game being finna be put down. These big people are stepping down to get on the internet, and what's happening is they're forming an industry. And so for all you dumb YouTubers that's running around that ain't bought the equipment and still got your phone and playing around, uploading from your phone with large audiences like Hassan Campbell and doing things like that, it let me know you can't be tapped in business-wise. You cannot be tapped in business-wise. If you getting, right, if you right now, you booming, you take all those numbers, package that, you go get a sponsorship and say, here's my pilot for my podcast, but you dudes don't got business acumen. You guys don't got business acumen. But they're forming an industry right in front of your face. And the best thing the people that steal our culture can do for us is teach us how to package our culture. The best thing they can do for us is expose the industry standard. Listen, if we can know what y'all paying for the rice and where y'all going to get the rice and where y'all buying the chicken, and we can compete from a price standpoint, which then makes us more effective in the market. We got you from a quality standpoint. We just don't know how to package and get everything right. So right in your face, an industry is being created. So I asked, what do they talk about? Mall? Do they talk about Complex, Nadeska? Well, I mean, what do we talk about here? And they got in all of it. One thing I will say, Joe knows when he sits with Act, he can't tell Act not to say this or that. Because Act knows how to put it like, oh, I thought you was a real nigga, man. I didn't say it, man. I thought we could talk about anything. You know, he know how to, because he, and I'll say this about Act 2. When he sits with someone he respects, he's not a complete peon in this space, right? As far as articulating his ideas. So he kind of spoke to Joe about how we left everybody at Complex, what it felt like to the people, and how he basically didn't respect it, you know. But we're going to play a little bit of this interaction between Akademiks and Joe Budden. We come to have a great show today. Let's take a look at a little bit of it. And see, this is why they got to add Loon to the conversation, is because they're failing also to mention there is that it's not interview based. A lot of the things, even in our culture, that's why I have to explain to companies my value. I have to explain to companies, yo, I've did all of this with just me in front of the mic, speaking on the game on behalf of the real ones. You see what I'm saying? And all these things that you see me contributing to the culture, and all these things you see me get from being influential in culture and getting out of the culture, are just things that are warranted due to the work being put in. And so you're talking about, again, I don't have to run and get the big name. That you got to value that, Joe Budden. The same way I'm valuing it in my contracts and explaining it to my audience and the onlookers and the people that's comparing me to podcasts that's interview based, respectfully, because I get into that too. I do that too. But when we talk about being able to move the needle, the people that listen to It's Up There podcast, they consume it almost to the end, man, at a high 80%. They consume almost all of it. I don't care if it's 4 hours long. That speaks to my equity in my audience. They have a certain level of equity into what I say. They're interested. And that should affect the ad as well. But again, somebody has to explain these things. And it just, for me, it's unfortunate to see Joe Budden not value the fact that he's able to compete with just kind of like a home base without moving around and all of that, because what that says to me, or at least see, I may have that unique ability that he doesn't have, because he doesn't want to go speak to the people. Even though I have my home base and it's rocking, I can still go out and speak to the people, which will make me even more effective in that way. And again, just in closing, man, this is just interesting, very interesting to see. And just for even purposes of learning from the game, I just thought it was important for us to digest this and dissect it. Of course, we'll speak on it to these gentlemen and more in the future, just about the business of it, how these dynamics interact, how they affected each other, what they did, the pros and cons of both of them. So now I tell you what I want to speak about. So the next topic I want to talk about is Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. for those of you unaware, I'm not sure when. Again, I like to make sure that I give a brief description of what it is I'm gonna speak about, only because I'm in a discovery mode in my brand process, and also these podcasts act as encyclopedias of sort. So for those of you unaware, at this particular time, we are in the middle of Tory Lanez being at trial for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. The initial reports from Megan Thee Stallion was she stepped on some glass after an altercation with Tory Lanez and a friend of hers and a bodyguard of Tory Lanez out in LA following a party with Kylie Jenner. The situation that we know in the culture is that at some point we thought the situation was romantic, and there seemed to be a fight of sorts. Allegedly, there was a situation of Meg being ready to go because Tory became too available at the party. Let's say that. And that ended up being a situation that turned into a night for her that was unwarranted. You know, we don't want to see women get shot. We don't want to see women go through things. You know what I'm saying? With any kind of violence or hurt, we want to protect our women with everything that we have. And that's just instinctively for most people that I know. Not saying that things don't happen and we're going to be perfect in our communication or our handling of everybody at every time. That will make us outside of a human being, and we know that we do have blood running through our veins. So when we deal with this Megan Thee Stallion situation, you know, she went to the hospital, said that, then later on had came out and basically said, Tory, you shot me. That ended up being a situation where, following that, charges were pressed. The LA County PD in Los Angeles decided to go ahead and prosecute Tory Lanez, got him out of Canada, brought him over, charged him, let him out on a bond. So they've been it's been dormant for a while. You know, nothing has really been happening. They've been in a situation where Meg's been able to communicate. As you see, I made that point 3 weeks ago that Meg's able to communicate freely about the case, and Tory is not. I don't think that speaks to Meg. I think that speaks to the negligence of the lawyer. My lawyer got to argue something, you know, so I don't put that on Meg. I put that on your legal team. How y'all gonna, like, that ain't even a thing, Yana. Let's address both sides to make sure that my client is protected. Nonetheless, Tory's in a situation where he just was violated for saying something to Meg online by using the word you. He's never supposed to address her, as he is alleged to have been shot her. And for me, that's a touchy situation. I always view these things and say, if it was my woman, my mother, my child, right, my sister, what would I think? You antagonizing my people now, how I'ma feel. So that's why I try to stay away from it. It's one thing to have made a mistake that night, but again, it's another thing for things to seem to have been going a different way. So Megan Thee Stallion went and sat with Gayle King on ABC. Shout out Gayle King, legend in the space. We're gonna take a look at a little bit of the interview, and then we'll come back with some gang.
That night changed everything for you.
Rapper Tory Lanez has been charged with shooting artist Megan Thee Stallion during an argument.
Megan Thee Stallion hit by multiple gunshots.
There was an argument in the car?
It was an argument because I was ready to go and everybody else wasn't ready to go. But that's like normal friend stuff. Like, we fuss about silly stuff all the time. But I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like, this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy.
It shouldn't have escalated to the way that it did. Can you just briefly walk us through what happened that night? It starts, you're at a party at Kylie Jenner's house.
I had went there and we were just hanging out, and I was ready to go because I had been there all day.
So you guys end up in a car. You, Tory Lanez, your friend at the time, Kelsey, and his driver/security. Tory Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, is a Grammy-nominated rapper and singer from Canada. Kelsey Harris was one of Megan Thee Stallion's best friends from Houston. There was an argument, and you get out of the car, right?
At that point, the argument wasn't even with me. Like, the argument was with the two people in the back seat. So I asked the driver to pull the car over, like, I'm done with this. And I should have stayed out of the car. Like, I should have not got back in the car. And they was like, Megan, just get back in the car. We almost there. Like, just get back in. So I get back in the car. It's like it's getting worse.
The arguing in the car.
The arguing in the car is getting worse. And I don't want to be in this car no more. Like, because I see it's getting crazy. So I get out the car, and it's like everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance, and he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he shot a couple of times. And I was so
is he
scared.
in the car shooting from the car, Megan?
He is standing up over the window shooting. And I didn't even want to move. I didn't want to move too quick. Like, because I'm like, oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know if he can shoot something that's like super important. I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me. Like,
were you afraid for your life at that time?
I was really scared because I had never been shot at before.
I'm sure she was scared.
And I looked down at my feet because I wasn't even, the adrenaline is pumping so hard. I'm not sure if he hit me. Like, I feel it, but I don't understand what's happening. So I look down at my feet and I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm really bleeding. So I like drop down and I crawl in somebody's driveway. Like, I can't believe you shot me.
And what is he saying, Tory Lanez saying?
He's
after
apologizing. He's, I'm so sorry. Please don't tell nobody.
When do they got audio?
$1 if y'all don't say nothing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you offering me money right now? Help me. Like, and if you sorry, just help me. Like,
but at that moment,
we didn't even make it to the house. Like, somebody had already called the police, and it was like so many of them. It was helicopters. I was like, oh my God, we all about to die. Like, the George Floyd incident had just happened. The police are definitely very much shoot first, ask questions after. So I'm like, it's a hot gun in the car. I'm bleeding. I've been shot. They about to kill somebody. Like, something bad is about to happen.
So somebody hears the gunshots, they call the police. The police come, and they say what to you?
They tell everybody to get out
of the car. TMZ obtained video from that night.
And you could see the footage of me in the swimsuit, limping backwards, feet bleeding.
And they say to you, what happened here?
I don't remember everything they said to me, but I remember them asking me what's happening, what happened to you. And I didn't want them to kill any of us or shoot any of us. So I just said I stepped on glass because I didn't
Why did you say that? Why didn't you say he shot me?
For some reason, I was just trying to protect all of us because I didn't want them to kill us. Like, even though this person just did this to me, my first reaction still was to try to save us. Like, I didn't want to see anybody die. So I just said, I stepped on glass. So when I see people trying to use that against me, like trying to act like I'm lying, oh, she stepped on glass, she never got shot. I'm the one who said I stepped on glass. I was lying to protect all of us. And sometimes I wish I really would have never said that.
You wish you would have just told the truth.
I wish I would have told the truth, but if it saved all of us from dying, then that's just probably what it was meant to be.
So when you told the police you stepped on glass, did they believe you?
I don't know.
So how did you go from the glass, did you go to the hospital?
So they took me straight to the hospital. And the police questioned me. And I said it was just glass.
You still stuck with that story?
I stuck with it was glass. And right as the officers was like, okay, we done with this, we leaving, the doctor came in and he was like, you know, you got bullets in both of your feet. Like, you got fragments in this foot and it's like right on the back of your Achilles. And I'm like,
There is a medical report that says that there were that you had been shot, and the medical report also says that to this day you still have
bullet fragments
in
my
your
feet.
And there are still many people, as we sit here today, Megan, that don't even believe you were shot.
There is a hot gun in the car.
Yeah.
What else? What happened?
In text messages obtained by CBS News, Kelsey Harris, the other woman in the car, texted Megan's security guard saying, "Help, Tory shot Meg."
I really thought that we were all friends. And sometimes I feel like I put the blame on myself because when my mom passed, I just felt like I was looking for some type of family environment, and I was letting so many people in, and I didn't care who it was. I just wanted to feel like I got family and I got people that care about me, and just I could hang out with everybody, and I was just going through it.
What was the nature of your relationship with Tory Lanez? Because he has led people to believe that it was a sexual relationship, that it was that you two were dating. What was the nature?
We were not dating. We were really close. We were friends. We hung out like every day, and his mom passed too. So when I felt like we were bonding over that. And
did you have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Did you, Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
So why do you think he's putting out the story that the two of you had a relationship and that you're making the whole thing up?
I think that he is trying to deflect from the fact that he committed a crime.
Tory Lanez pleaded not guilty to assault and weapons charges related to the shooting. We asked his attorney about Megan's allegations in this story. She responded that they look forward to addressing Ms. Pete's claims, including her inconsistencies, discrepancies, and omissions when his case goes to trial later this year. How has your life changed since you were shot?
I feel like my anxiety is worse.
So you have that piece, and again, salute to Gayle King. Beautiful, look beautiful on the interview. Shout out Meg, look beautiful on the interview. 2 black women. Us as the media, I don't have a dog in the fight. My only involvement in it is to, again, digest the information in regards to why we act, how we act, what's happening, credibility of people who are operating in front of our children and things like that. And so for us, I don't view Meg away. You know, I see a lot of guys out there that has took a position of view away, and that's them. Me, I'm only involved in information, right? Not emotion. So again, seeing her cry and all of that, it means something to me because I am a human being. But again, I am paying attention to the information as well. She does seem hurt. I would hate for that to be my sister, my mother. It's very sad to see her go through that. Let's address some of the things that she said. She was not romantically involved sexually with Tory Lanez. I think that whether that's true or not, let's set that to the side. I do know that at this juncture in court, you could have been advised that that's not something that can be proven, therefore does not have to be admitted. You do with that information what you may. She mentioned the argument, but they didn't mention Gayle didn't press it. And if she did, they cut it out, you know, because it's only a 12-minute interview. So she didn't press it. And like, so what were y'all arguing about? You know, because that'll clear a lot up as well. Like, that'll tell you who could have been mad. Was the other person mad in the back seat at you, or were you mad at her, or who was arguing? What, he mad at both y'all, or like, what was that? So again, I'm almost drained at the situation because it feels funny speaking about it, especially to see somebody crying, saying they lost their mother and things like that. That's rough for me to be critical of, you know. So again, I believe this will play out in court. I do think Tory Lanez has made a few mistakes, and we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back with some game about that. All right, so we are back from break. Welcome back to everybody that's tuned in. It's Up There podcast. Announcement. I've been working on a deal. Of course, if you're a fan of mine and listen to It's Up There podcast and hear the things that I talk about and my projections and you hear me speak about some of the back end things that happen behind the scenes, you know that a deal was something that we would take a real close look at, you know, if it made sense. And I am so pleased to announce that we have reached terms and conditions with Revolt TV. Shout out to Revolt, man, Revolt family. For me, Revolt has always been a staple in the game. A much needed place in the coach. I think they amplify voices from a different perspective. Shout out to Detavio, seeing my vision, and really has been influential in me packaging what it is I call giving the game to the culture, man. And for me, I'm gonna say this: I got a lot of upside. There's a lot of upswing dealing with this show. This show has the ability to dance in arenas that a lot of shows have not or will not dance in, and also be at the head of starting conversations, right? A lot of the talking points that I presented in the culture right now, and at some point, you know, right now I'm in celebration, so you know I'm not gonna get into all the tactful things, but my legitimate talking points right now are starting conversation in the culture and leading to 6 and 7 and 8 hours worth of content. Just one thing that I may have said, and they'll frame that as somebody said. And a lot of my fans tag me and know who the somebody is. So again, man, I'm just, man, Detavio and everybody at Revolt, man. And shout out to my boy AK, man. He over at Revolt too, man. He always take good care of me. Like I say, man, we have been on calls and on the phones about how to amplify this, linking this thing up, and I think the partnership will take the brand in a direction that'll have it at the forefront of the culture just in a second, right? Now I'm peaceful, you know, I'm calm right now, but you know, calm water doesn't mean ain't no crocodiles or alligators in the water. So right now, allow me to take this in, allow me just to build with Revolt and do what it is we do. I do plan on addressing a lot. I do plan on taking the brand into an angle, man, that, yo, you got to know what you talking about to come down through there. Yeah, all that low level game they giving, we picking through that. You know, like I say, man, I'm finna provide something, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm so super excited to be in a situation to get this podcast packaged in a way with Revolt's support, man. It's gonna mean a lot to the game, as well as mean a lot to what it is we plan on doing with Black Voices over at Revolt. And the culture, man, y'all will be the winners at the end of the day, because a lot of people think it's about get the interview first. It's about who know what they talking about. It's about who can provide some kind of content to the market that people is looking at. I never thought of it like that. Man, I never really thought of it like that. And I'm trying to be industry friendly, right? And that's the beautiful thing about this Up There podcast, is that I get to do what I want to do with the support of a brand that believes in Black people, right? So I'm trying to be industry friendly before I grab hold to a couple points that I see out there and drill them in. You see, I continue to mention it because it's on my mind. So, and I'm trying to learn how to be a media guy and not a guy that approaches things in more so of a practical way, right? And I also, man, want to take some time and give a shout out to anybody or the people who are listening to me and write to me and post me every day and DM me and just like, yo, say, bruh, like, the way you do your part is so dope, man. I'm just saying those little things really have made this an easy journey for me, from a standpoint of support, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know this is hard, what we do. Put a lot of work in, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, sweat equity, that takes us all the way, man. So everything that I do, I'm calculated. Everything that I do, my steps have been ordered, right? And so in this situation, we want to announce to our people, to our loved ones, to our fans and supporters that we have partnered up with Revolt. Shout out to Revolt. Shout out to the other podcasts and shows over at Revolt. Some of the biggest things in the game happen at Revolt, and we plan on making this Up There podcast just another one of those things on the list. And we want to take position in the game, in the market. We want to mean something in the market, and we definitely plan on doing so. We believe at It's Up There podcast that it's less about when you have the conversation and more about who has the conversation. We believe that if we put the right people next to the right people at It's Up There podcast, that the content that would arise from those events would be golden. And for us, again, we just think that it's less about who's talking and more about what they're talking about. And so It's Up There podcast, man. I want to send a special thank you to the homie AK that's been speaking to me and been instrumental in getting the deal done, as well as the Tavio over at Revolt, man. You've been instrumental in just embracement, instrumental in letting the company or letting whoever know that, man, It's Up There podcast is something that we want to believe in here at Revolt. And man, I couldn't thank you guys enough. My whole journey now is to make sure that everybody that's involved with anybody that's involved with what I got going on stays at the top of the list, right? So for me, if all we got to do is create content at a high level, you leave that up to me and I'll take care of that, right? The conversations we gonna have is just dope. I want this to be a flash in the bucket or a sign to young black creators that there is avenues, there is a way. The major players in the game are paying attention. The right people are watching. You know, I think that you can be discouraged on this journey because it's a long road. You know, it's a long road and it take a long time. And I do believe that if we can keep people in position that are keeping people in position that we stand to go for. I'm super excited. What it does for me is it allows me an opportunity to really, number one, get with a brand that I respect so much, because look at the legendary names attached to it. The founder being Diddy. Shout out to the homie. We know what he brought to the game, and we know that's immaculate hustle, right? So just that standpoint, just the information involved with, nigga, what? I feel as though everything they done is just bleeding with information. It's bleeding with shit. Just them dudes is a well of information, right? So for me, being close enough to those things and being close to the pinnacle of hip hop, and then adding to the algorithm, there ain't a show like It's Up There podcast. There won't be a show like It's Up There podcast. A lot of people they don't even want to muzzle me. They want to play the no look game. I was talking to Parlay from the Franchise Boys about how they play the no look game, right? And so what that means is they'll listen to you faithfully, and they'll get your talking points, and they'll move your talking points just a little bit from base, right? Move your talking point just a little bit from base, and then that's their identity. And what they're hoping is that you never get discovered. You know what I'm saying? And for me, you know, I went and invested everything, went and invested and got everything I needed. So I'm going to be diligent in my approach. I'm going to be disruptive in my content. You know what I'm saying? Things are going to look a certain way. They're going to feel a certain way. It's going to be a certain type of vibe about it. And it's just going to be no way to get around it. And I also want to say, and I don't mean to come off arrogant, these things I know for a fact. I'm dealing with information. I'm not somebody that's going to get on here and talk. And if you know me, you know that. I want to say hello to all of the professional podcasters that's making all the money, that's watching my podcast and regurgitating my information. Round of applause for you for being a sucker. Round of applause for you niggas for coming, knowing I'm a street nigga. It can't even be, it's undeniable. You can't tell me you get something else from me. Knowing I'm a street nigga, you come take my, right? So now, I just don't, we're going to figure out how to deal with that. But I want to give a round of applause and say hello to you dudes. I want you to know that I'm going to hold you accountable for those talking points that all you got to do is give me credit. I don't want nobody money. I come in the game with money. My credit I gotta have. My credit I gotta have. I know what that credit mean. Don't play with me. I'm giving high level game out, so don't come to me with the low level game. It take big bait to get a big fish. Don't you come putting no worm on no hook and throwing it in my sea. You disrespectful in your approach. So I'm telling dudes, respect the game. And when you using my name or you use it, yo, bro, it's Up There Podcast, Revolt TV. Let's do this the right way. You know I come straight out the town. I come straight off the town, my nigga. I'm not playing with this content thing. I ain't one of y'all little dudes. I'm not one of you little industry guys, right? Respectfully to my business connects. I ain't one of you industry guys that want to play with this. We not playing with this. You got to give me my credit. I'm a real creator. Do your Googles. I'm a real creator. I'm not one. So listen, I want to give a shout out to the people who have been instrumental in allowing me to understand what it is I'm doing is relevant in the game. Anybody that's gave me an indication or evidence that what it is I'm doing is influential in the market and has a place in the market, I send a very big shout out to you. It's a couple of y'all that's following me from Finsters. It's a couple of y'all other famous dudes following me from Finsters, following me from other YouTube accounts. You don't know the technologists keep catching up with you guys. Round of applause for you not knowing technology is catching up with you. So what's happening is maybe it's such and such is showing up. And you're saying, wow. But right now we celebrate. Revolt TV. It's Up There Podcast, influential in the game, influential in the culture. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Tekashi, akademiks, that whole thing. We'll get into the whack thing, and then we'll move on. DJ Akademiks. DJ Akademiks' latest podcast has Tekashi 6ix9ine. So for those of you unaware, Tekashi just dropped some music, and of course when you drop music, you want to do media because the eyeballs gets more eyeballs, and then right, it's an old game that I've been putting down a long time, but I gotta be diligent in reiteration. You know why? Because what's happening is only a small part, man, that's why I love podcasts. Only a small part of your audience is gonna go back to your catalog. Half of that small part of your audience that's going back to your catalog, some of them ain't even fans, they investigators. And not federal investigators, but other content creators. Little niggas trying to get on. People that's in position that's trying to steal ideas. Everybody in this industry needs talking points. And I'm the king of talking points. Everybody in this industry needs talking points, dude. And so Tekashi goes over to DJ Akademiks podcast and finds himself in a situation to sit down with Akademiks Whack 100 and a guy named Hassan Campbell. When they arrived there, Tekashi shows up with a bunch of people. Whack shows up by itself. Hassan shows up with 7-8 people. This is what's being said, and that's act building, so I'm sure you had some people there. This is an attempt to do some kind of viral moment, right, for podcasting and for Spotify. I also think it's interesting now that because as I'm talking about this, I'm thinking about Ak and Joe just had a conversation, and Ak really took all his time tearing Joe down, and Joe took all his time trying to build Ak up. But that's something else. We'll talk about that later. This particular interview, Tekashi goes here, and for me, I don't want my podcast to ever look like this. Respectfully. Right? You dealing with a podcast full of guys right here, like you got DJ Akademiks, Tekashi, Hassan. None of these people like each other. This is a room full of leverage. This is you. I can't do nothing to you because it is you because of that, and you because of this, and you because of that. Nobody there is genuine. And I wouldn't want my atmosphere to be altered in that way. For all the views you get, for all the numbers you get on it, for everything you get from it. Not to have one real relationship at the table, except maybe Ak and Tekashi. And that started, in my opinion, I still don't view that as a real relationship because it started so internety, publicly, when things happen that way. So we're gonna take a little bit of look at the interview, and then we'll come back with some game. And so the part of the interview we're gonna start at is at the beginning. At this part of the interview, Akademiks is kind of introducing the podcast. They interrupted him like, yo, man, fuck all that. Let's get right into it. And Akademiks is now asking Wack a few things, and then we'll go from there. Again, if you listening to this up there podcast, you know you got to deal with the information. So I need you to listen with high level game is right now. And also, if you're not looking at the video, head to Pateron.com. It's up there podcast. I need you to look at how things are viewed. Look at the inside. Look at the niggas behind them. Look how many people it is. Look at the body language. Pay attention to everything. Pay attention to everything, because that's the only way you ain't gonna miss nothing. Right? So let's pay attention.
I still stand behind what I stood behind in the our last interview. Right?
You called him. You said he was not a gangster. He was a civilian.
I felt like, personally, it's like taking a motherfucker that just came to the football team. He never played football, and you take him and you put him on a motherfucking. What's up, nephew?
I ain't gonna lie, pardon me, you heard, because this shit's serious to me.
So this is somebody with Tekashi 6ix9ine interrupting Wack 100.
Yeah, let me introduce my man. This is Don Stacks, you heard?
What up? Talk to me.
Hold on. Now, talk to my brother.
I don't do this interview shit. This is something that niggas need to really know. You said you stand on what you stand on, right?
For sure.
Facts, right?
Facts.
So it's like, boom. But like, I ain't gonna front, bro. I know this nigga before any of the gang shit and all that, you heard?
Got you.
Gangster, I ain't never look at him as a gangster. I'm not trying to say he's pussy. I'm just saying that he ain't grew up how I grew up. That's all I'm saying.
And so let me give y'all a little game or context, at least as to where we are right now. The dude right here that's with Tekashi 6ix9ine is now about to tell Wack how he views Tekashi at the beginning of the interview, I guess because he got to get some things off his chest.
That's what I'm saying.
Cool, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
I never looked at him in that light, period.
Yeah.
So whenever he got what he got going on, he was doing him whatever, you feel me? I knew it was really what's up. Like, I know my bro. Like, I know what's up, bro. That's my boy. You feel me? At the end of the day, it's like, do you look at him as a you snitch? You remember you niggas like, yo,
no.
You don't?
I don't see him that way.
Me neither. Because I know him, you heard? Because I know him. This is why I don't look at him as a snitch.
I see the way I see it.
But look, the crazy shit though is that niggas be pussy. A lot of people pussy in this world, bro. Like, if you stand on what you stand on, you stand on what you stand on. So at the end of the day, if you don't jack rats, don't jack no rat. And niggas, you know, it's rats that's out there, that's cool.
Selective
and then hold up,
politicking.
wait, it's rats that's out there, that's cool. But then it's gangster rats. You know, the gangster rats. The niggas that didn't rat, the niggas that didn't rat is scared of the gangster rats. You heard? So now it's like, yo, you feel me? Niggas a rat.
First, before we go any further, let me just put a couple of things in perspective of what I see just at this point about the situation. Because, again, on this side, I got to just view things from through a different lens. A lot of these dudes are playing. A lot of these dudes don't know what they up against. They don't know what it's like. Not them little dudes in the room, but the people that's speaking on the culture. So it's important that we got voices like myself out there that's able to really quantify what's happening. Let me put this in the plainest form, right? 6ix9ine is running the same play that he ran before. 6ix9ine is running the same exact formation, run play that he ran with the 9 trade dudes, which that shows me he don't got no game. And that's why I get mad at rap. That's why I get mad at this marketing shit, because see these niggas sitting by the offering table using bandanas, tattoos, drills, switches, dead homies, all this shit, and y'all allowing niggas to get close enough to the offering table to trick half the people. Y'all allowing them to get close enough to the offering table to make people think they part of the congregation. Man, they visitors in this church. They don't even know nothing of, you dig what I'm saying? So for me, when I look at it, I say, dude is running the same exact play. It's like a bad coach. Yo, bro, you keep running it. They is stuffing 8 in the box. Can we get a play action? Can we get just a different look? Just Hail Mary, and just spread them out. You just gonna keep running it? There was a time where they had names like Tekashi next to names like 50 Cent in regards to just marketing mind. What we saying? Right? You can't compare a nigga that'll tattoo his whole body to no return and diss everybody dead homies and risk his life going through neighborhoods and doing certain things and call that marketing when I can sell water in a world where water is free luxury in America. You can get you some water in America to drink, man. I went and got a check off the water. That's a different thing. You see what I'm saying? And I done it several times. I keep telling you dudes that think you got one hustle. You can't have one hustle and compete with the big dogs. You can't have one hustle to compete with the big dogs. You got to be working 5-6 budgets. Say, boy, I got 7 open deals going right now. 2 on the table and 2 about to end. So we in renegotiation. You see what I'm saying? You got to be which one you working. All eyes on the stove on. Big hustle. We getting at it. Ain't nothing gonna stop it. You understand? Dedicated to the cause. You know what I mean? So some people is living like that and others is playing like that. See, but the internet allows it to distort. And you get to put them 2 niggas side by side. And so if you're not careful and enough people are saying certain things, they say a lie said so many times, uncontested is the truth. And the uncontested part is where we got to have problems. But then you ask yourself, why they don't amplify the real niggas? Why they don't accommodate the niggas that is speaking the real game? Right? How you gonna hear somebody that's more famous than me say something you heard me say 3 months ago and think nothing of it? You hear somebody you know more famous than me say something you heard me say 3 months ago and think nothing of it. They don't even get, let's just entertain the fact they didn't take the talking point. Let's say that. Let's say, oh, Loon, you're a creator, you live in your head, nobody's taking your talking points. Let's entertain that. I live in my head a little bit. It took delusion for me to get out the street. Cause boy, they got a lockdown on the street. Boy, the mentality ain't gonna allow you to break the wall. You don't even know. You think that's brick wall, but that's a sheet on top of drywall. You can run through it. You ain't got no, you feel me? Mentality is broken, right? So had to be delusional to shake that. So let's entertain the fact that ain't nobody, they ain't heard it. So let's just say the nigga that you paying your money to is thinking things that I thought 4 months ago. Let's just say that at the bare minimum, because it's all out. Everything's out, right? So for me, when I operate, I say, man, you gotta be able to reinvent, do it over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. You look at Tekashi running the same play. Now my question is, homie, you being insane is doing the same thing and expecting different results. That's literally the definition of being insane. Doing the same thing and expecting different results. Here I come with the gang again. Here I come standing on business out my mouth again. I done already fell victim to this play. What I'm gonna lose this time? You can't keep the AO for me. But I come from where the water hot and it's gonna burn you. I come from either the water is extremely cold or extremely hot. I come from where you're gonna fall off the porch, sky yourself. You're gonna learn balance. You're gonna learn to appreciate and respect second chances. I got homies that just not coming home from light bids, right? And then on top of that, when you show up with 30, 35 people respectfully to the game, I'm always said and have always said, you hiring shields. When you got 30, 35 people with you, you hiring shields. Now, is that a right or wrong thing? I don't speak on that, because that's about how you feel and what area you in, because you definitely going to see me somewhere with 30, 35 people, huh? The right setting, but got to have 30, 35 with me now. See, that's why I'm trying to tell you. When I say something, don't get me wrong. I'm identifying. I'm just identifying the information, homie. I'm identifying what's happening. You understand me? But clearly you hiring shields. I just come from, if you got 30, 35 people with you, right? Worst case scenario. See, I always go to worst case scenario because having the gun on us, that's period. We got to get prepared to get caught with the gun. So now we got to place ourselves in a situation to figure out, hey, where do we put it? How do we get a spot? Is it registered? Put somebody in the car with light. What we doing? We got to figure out how to, cause we gonna get caught with this motherfucker. If worst case scenario, right? So worst case scenario with 30, 35 dudes with you and some firearms and some felonies and some paroles and probations and some little light grass here and he on my leg, it's a little ice on here. You understand me? They doing a little this and a little that. Boy, that might look like $1 million or $2 million. The wrong swerve. That's why I think that, some is just, I don't know, some is not. And what I'm saying, people who are not tapped into that type of literature from our culture, I'm just saying, in the event that these dudes end up getting any kind of police interaction or pulled over or something like that and go to jail, you're looking at bonds and lawyers for all them dudes because they definitely feel as though they on your watch, right? So now, this dude here, like I said, is now speaking about how he feels about Tekashi and how they don't feel he's a rat. They don't feel he's a snitch. I think that even in our culture, we got to start to teach each other that two things can be true. Like, them niggas could have done some fuck shit by fucking your baby mama. That was wrong, but you still were wrong for snitching and you did snitch. You see what I'm saying? We can't just say, okay, because they done that, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, dog. And I ain't talking about civilian talk, because again, I tell dudes what a civilian is. I think that Tekashi 6ix9ine ain't a civilian, he a wannabe. See, it's a difference now. A wannabe is damn near a civilian. And some of these niggas is just wannabes, they damn near civilians. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really getting no money in the street. They kind of just out there in the way. Like, you damn near a civilian, which make you a wannabe, which you gonna end up being homeless. Because you can't straddle the fence in life. You got to pick a side, so you ain't gonna never go get a job because you don't want it to cramp your style. Because if they see you at a job, it's gonna solidify you ain't no street nigga. So I'm saying, so you will never go get a job, but guess what else you ain't gonna do? You ain't gonna hustle either, because you definitely don't want to go to jail. Because, boy, if you go to jail, they gonna definitely figure out that you really ain't, you see? So you gonna just straddle the fence and end up homeless. So what you need to do is identify who you fucking with. I call niggas who like 6ix9ine wannabes. Them niggas is damn near civilians. Let's listen to what little dude said.
But niggas are scared of them, so now niggas not jacking that. Niggas not even pumping that no more because niggas is
just like some bully shit.
You feel me? So look, at the end of the day, if niggas is jacking rats because they scared of them, why the fuck I can't jack him and I don't even look at those niggas that's trying to act gang. Those niggas that's really street niggas, that's rats. I look at bro as bro, you feel me? So
Freaky Zeke.
If you feel me? If niggas hold up, look, wait, bro, gangsta, hold up, gangsta, look, wait, no, hold it down. Let me just get this out, and then after that, y'all niggas talk, bro. Gangsta. The thing that I'ma say though is that, like, you feel me? If niggas is jacking rats because they scared of them, why the fuck I can't jack a rat for a bag? Or that, like, you feel me? I got shit, nigga. We in like, nigga, you feel me? And then another thing too is that, like, bro, niggas, bro, I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna speak too much.
My man don't do the interview shit. This what I'm.
Let's deal with what he just said right there. He just said out of his mouth why I can't jack a rat for a bag. And I'm speaking to the streets, man. I'm speaking to the youngsters out there. This ain't even about dude, Tekashi, none of them. Everybody know, Loon know I deal with the information because I know I'm leaving information out there for people I can never touch. So I need real ones to come and spread the game and the knowledge on this side, because what they come here for is, man, how do you understand what they were saying in there? Like, I was confused. You know what I'm saying? So somebody got to say, now listen, youngster, whoa, hey. There go a nigga done what you thinking about doing. See what he said about that. Hey, yo, verify this right here. I done that what they talking about. That ain't about nothing. It took me 20 years. You got a 20-year head start, head that way now. Just a little bit. But I know what I got to attach to it. I got to attach cool to everything that's right. Because if I'm attaching cool to it, because see, what's happened is in the streets, and my youngsters, y'all know I ain't lying, they done attached sucker and square to everything that's right. And so more and more they see dudes doing the right thing. That's why I cut my own grass. I got a lot of land. I cut my own grass. I got a lot of land. Now, you know, respect, you know, I need to keep that honest. I don't cut it all the time, but when I can, I cut. You feel me? I try to do things like that just so I can respect the land, respect it. You know what I mean? Stay down. I go to thinking like, yo, 6ix9ine got to sit in a room as the boss of a whole bunch of men that call him a rat, and they basically say, yo, it's about nigga, you know, by the bag. I'm jacking dude by the bag. Now, I can respect that because I wanted to be clear to him, though. Like, you know, I'm bending the rules by this. You got to pay by that. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like that's his vibe, and that's his vibe outward. It ain't like he hiding it. That's his vibe. Like, dude, know he got to pay by that. But I think, you know, it's like, damn, I just, you know, I know it kind of feel fucked up to get kind of talked about like that in front of people. It's almost like having a girl with you, like, or having a white girl with you. You know what I'm saying? Or having having a white girl with you. You done brought her to your mama house, and you know mama and them don't like her, so you got to kind of slick degrade her every time you. Man, who gonna get the, you know, who gonna get the, you know, or just, you know, saying slanderous words to describe her in front of her, and she got to just sit there like, okay. You know, it's kind of uncomfortable. Yeah, probably, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's just crazy to have to sit in a room full of people that you got to pay. You got to fly over, do this, that, and they talking about you like this. They really keeping it solid with you like, yo, bro, you know you ain't welcome, bro. You ain't welcome or accepted, man. You tolerated based on the amount you paying. And for me, Tekashi gotta identify that, because that ain't no friendly spot to be in, home. Like, you think it's a joke, it's a game. Them they showing you how they view you. Dude be lacking and key. Ha 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 ha. He be lacking. Yeah, let's listen to a little bit more.
Hold on, dog. Niggas know it's really hold on. Nigga, it's really on this type of time. Niggas do all the street shit for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas, yo, bro, when we went to the, hold on. When we went to the hood, we done seen niggas 40 years old, 50 years old, walking, sitting on the benches, pushing the laundry cart, doing that. Yo, bro, when you really, hold on. When you really hold on to that shit, there's niggas that's gonna die in them projects. There's people who's really going, no funny shit. Look, and I told my son Dons this. I said, yo, bro, gangster, nobody put on for Bushwick the way I put on for Bushwick on a mainstream level. I said, bro, y'all niggas gonna wait on these niggas. Go ahead, wait on these niggas. This is really my hood. Like, I'm really from Bushwick.
I ain't gonna front. I have shit that I have to clear up on my own too, bro. Like, I don't even give a fuck about this shit. On some dead ass shit though. Like, you feel me? Like, I ain't gonna
feel like dude is in the hood, maybe hearing things.
Bro, niggas don't be real with themselves, bro. Like,
his moral compass seem to be, he know what he doing. He feel like, man.
Please don't. Nobody make a.
I definitely would.
Yo, whoever live in my hood, whoever live in my hood, and niggas.
What time was it?
Yo, whoever.
What time was y'all
over there? Going on? Yo.
Now hold on. I want to clear this up.
Whoever live in my hood. Yo, whoever live in my hood, nah, chill, bro. Let me, bro. I'm not. Yo.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't do interviews, bro. I don't do
do this.
No, but let me ask you a question. I know, but let me clear this up. Wait, let me clear this up.
Go, bro.
Cause I've been arguing with niggas on Clubhouse, right? Cause the niggas be like, yo, I said, listen, bro, stop fucking asking me questions about 6ix9ine. The nigga just shot a video on Brooklyn.
We got with her so much that we told the whole hood before we did this shit. Before I did this shit, I told the whole hood. Nigga, I ain't gonna have niggas looking. I told the whole niggas knew what time it was the video. Cause certain niggas could have. My son had.
What time did you start the video?
He had all his shit on, bro. Niggas could have did what they want.
Answer the question, bro.
But what time did he start the video?
The video was I don't even know, bro. Like 4 in the afternoon, bro. We outside, regular niggas. You know what's crazy though?
Niggas feel like
it's not. It's rats out here. I'm not saying I fuck with that rat. This rat is not my age or nothing. This is an old nigga that ratted like in the hood. He's like he's not even in my. You feel me? That's an old head, bro.
They talking about that dude like he an animal, man.
It's regular. Like niggas really give him a 5.
Young niggas pay attention, right? Pay attention, right? Pay attention.
Don't act like I did something wrong now. This shit regular. Probably if niggas wasn't never allowing
Wait. So what you saying is this: you been walking by an old head that the neighborhood knows is a rat, and the older niggas ain't doing nothing about it.
No, not older niggas. Nobody doing nothing.
Nobody that stand on what they stand on. Why this nigga still outside?
I call it selective politicking.
Exactly.
So it's like after that, I'm shutting up, bro. I'm not even gonna talk too much. You heard? That's it.
Let me say this, right? Let me say this, right?
That shit crazy. He a rat, and dude right there. You know what I'm saying? Just like, bro, I mean, it is what you did, but it's like, these the dudes that's supposed to be protecting you. It's like, that's a weird dynamic. And we ain't never seen that out loud like that. This is probably the first time we gonna see that out loud like that in real time. That's not a movie. Like a dude that plugged in with some official street dudes and when everybody got indicted, he snitched, got out, got some millions through music, and then got with another group of dudes and ran the same formation, same play on federal probation. Like, they play a different kind of game. Bro, I'm from down here where, bro, it gets spooky when things get, you feel me? Them people that get involved with certain individuals, man, shit start happening. You feel me? To people way down the line. I'm talking maybe 10, 15 people. Man, people ain't even know they indirectly tied in this on the line. You know what I mean? So right? He on probation right now with them people. So like, I don't know, dog. That's a spooky situation. Like, all that old rub, man, that's a spooky situation for anybody in criminal activity. Shout out to me and Revolt at It's Up There podcast. We have now entered into the podcasting space. If you are not found us on all of your outlets, you need to do so. But you know, in all seriousness, man, I think for sure that it just shows you that the hood is in a bad place. I think it's one more place that I want to take us to in the interview. Again, I think that position right there was dude kind of clearing up his own stuff, right? On top of probably what he hearing people have said indirectly or saying or things like that. And he probably like, man, and he's saying things. Listen, I couldn't put myself in that situation. For me, when he asked them, do they think he's doing anything wrong? I would have told him, yeah. I would have told him, yeah, because if you are talented, if you love your family, you know, you got to look at what position a person plug you into their life. You see what I'm saying? What happens with relationships is that when I'm dealing with a girl, she got to worry if I'm plugging her in the girlfriend position or plugging her in the wife position. But don't think those experiences are the same, although some of the attributes are available in both packages. Right? But you got to hope I'm plugging you in that wife position, because where I plug you in my life depends on how I treat you. The indicators of how I'm going to treat you is based on where I plug you. If I plug you in a position so don't think I'm going to treat every girl I come across that I'm going to call at 3 a.m. when I'm leaving the studio or when I'm leaving the podcast. That ain't going to happen. You feel what I'm saying? Those are that position in my life, or at that particular time, I plug those people in that position. But you don't treat a wife like a girlfriend, and you don't treat a girlfriend like a wife. And so what Tekashi is doing is plugging you. I plug you in the way I plug Shotty. Plug you in the where he plugged you into where Shotty plugged Harv. I plugged you into where I plugged him. He plugged you into where I plugged that person. And it's like there ain't no edit on it. And we expecting different results. What we doing? I can see if there was a real plan for dudes and dudes was hurting for certain. Stressing for a blessing. Right? You no longer welcome in my section, but get your money, young nigga. You feel what I'm saying? But you can't tell me that you finna go join the Titans and the Titans running that same quarterback slam. It's 1st and 10 on the 30. Quarterback slam. How long you think we're gonna get down? Quarterback slam. What we doing, coach? Quarterback slam. You gonna sign a 5-year franchise tag with that team? You gonna go on that team and say, I'm gonna dedicate everything I got, coach? What we doing? Gotta be dealing with the information, home. Where you plugging me at? What we doing? I got the game. I got the what you need the game. I got the game, but what we doing? What business? What we doing? Okay. Let's listen to a little bit more.
To take over, like really, I'm a moderator, which there's a lot of people. Hold on, I want to ask you this question.
On my end, none of this is personal. Niggas just not gonna stop me from getting like feeding my family. Like,
hold on.
I'm pussy. Yo, if I don't do what I gotta do for the people that I love, I'm pussy. And that's basically that the town is like, I'm not even, that's sad though, because I ain't gonna fire, I love the town, bro, but niggas gotta stand on what they stand on, you heard? That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not even gonna discredit niggas, bro. After this, bro, niggas stand on what they stand on. If niggas would have been standing on what they stand on, nobody would have been able to do this, nigga. I would've knew that this is like completely is OD wrong. It's just that it's right for it be right in the town for nigga for shit that don't even make sense. Now it's making sense, nigga. It's right, nigga. Fuck y'all talking about like.
Hold on. Hey, I'm gonna ask one question. I want you to answer. Hold on. I'm gonna ask one question. I want you to answer, and I want 6ix9ine to answer, and I want to hear from 2 niggas who I believe is OGs from a different generation, right? If there wasn't a bag.
And this is not only New York either. Hold up. This is not only the town. This is everywhere too. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna make the town look bad. This is everywhere.
So let me ask the question. If there's zero bag attached to this, let me ask the question. If there's zero bag attached to this,
pick and choose.
If there's zero bag attached to this, do you bring 6ix9ine to the piece?
What?
Like, if there's no money involved,
would you bring him to the piece to do a video?
Would I do it? Look, guess what? I did it already, but he didn't even have no money. No, he wasn't even Tekashi 6ix9ine the gangster. He was rocking road Tekashi.
But the situation that happened.
He was rocking road Tekashi. When he was in the town, he was rocking road.
No.
That was the Tekashi I know, bro.
Listen, we saying with the situation that happened. If he was dead broke right now.
If he didn't know me though.
No, he know you.
Nigga, at the end of the day, I'm a real nigga, bro. It gotta make sense for me. What are you talking about? That's
so you saying no then.
So you see him say it gotta make sense. You gotta know what that means from my perspective. Right? When you deal with us in the neighborhood and we say, yo, it gotta make sense. It's like, yo, listen, if somebody called my phone, if a play called my phone, is at a certain time and my family home and it's dinner time and I really ain't doing nothing. And I had got to a point even when I was involved at certain times where it was shut down no matter what it was. But when you in that mode, certain numbers will get you moving. Right? And so it's like they saying that, you know, it got to make sense for me to deal with them. But here's where I find some issue, and here's where I find opportunity in regards to the argument that it got to make sense. Because in our culture, see, we like to get fly with that shit. And I blame half for us, but shout out to everybody that we all got our tagline. Shout out to Fat Joe. Yesterday price is not today price. You know, and this is like one of them saying, yo, we got to make it make sense. It got to make sense. You know, this is one of them sayings that you throw in when you really can't articulate what it really is your expectations are. See, because you got to ask yourself, how does it make sense when you plug me in the same position you plugged the nigga before me in, that this system is flawed now, nigga, you been compromised. The only reason something like that'll work is because of the stealth mode that goes along with that. So when this whole situation has been compromised, yo, I come to step in the deep waters. And I can't be the swiftest nigga in Nebraska because I have a bankroll already if I was. You see what I'm saying? So what's happening is I come with the power. That's what I come with, the strength of these dudes with me. And we ready to roll because we rolling for nothing. But see, I'm able to talk about these things as a podcaster because I'm a real big game giver. I ain't worried about these other podcast dudes or media. They can't talk like this. You see what I'm saying? And then I can talk how they talk. I know all of that they know too, right? A blade can't hurt a blade. Right? You put two blades beside each other, they can go crazy. Ain't nothing going on. It's the grass that's in trouble. And a lot of these content dudes is grass. You see what I'm saying? And so when I deal with information and I look at little buddy that's saying something like that, it gotta make sense. Make sense. What we gotta be is we gotta be well read to know what makes sense. Because when I look at it, I say to myself, look at the ghetto, man. The ghetto in bad shape, boy. The ghetto is in such a compromised state that you can make the ghetto edit and adjust and vacate their morals for the opportunity to get out of the poverty situation. Right? The poverty situation is such a maze, right? That the opportunity to get out of that, not the guarantee, the opportunity to get out of that would allow you to consider to go against what you even know is wrong. And while you're doing it, saying is wrong. See, you got to pay attention to what a motherfucker do right now, because some of that they doing right now is for the comeback. When you hear them, see, because that's for when I double back and I make that right, I'm going to say the whole time I was saying such and such. That's what you feel me? So pay attention to the people around you and what they saying. When they objecting to certain things in this early stage of things and you think it's just ha ha ha. No, they doing some of this for the comeback. So down the line when they say such and such, all that right there they gonna have a little ability to make that look away. But because of the financial situation, Tekashi 6ix9ine is offering bribes. See, you ever dealt with old bribing motherfucker come around with, you know, he done bought your friend from you. Oh man, yeah, he's scamming. So all the people, them ain't your buddies no more. They gone with such and such on the yacht, and he don't like you. You can't come. He done bribed your people. I still don't think it's gonna work, man. I just don't see it going the way you think it's gonna go. Now, what I will say is this: the ghetto is so fucked up, and let me get a young nigga some game that's next to Tekashi 6ix9ine, even though, you know, see, because I've evolved as a human being and now I operate for all of us. I'm no longer selfish in my communication. I want to place things out there that can not only benefit us, but can benefit those that's within the sound of my voice, right? Because my understanding is king, it allows me and provides me a runway to be able to communicate some of these things. Young niggas this next to Tekashi 6ix9ine, and that's why I say this game is fucked up. Tell me how it ain't personal. Tell me how is it making sense, right? What you need to be doing, young niggas, go start you an LLC right now. Start it, name it a security company, and be billing him every day at a high number for security. And I give you that game, young nigga, because I'm just in a boss position to understand how to package some of those things, and maybe that y'all not. But somebody close to them dudes, go put them dudes in a situation to put an LLC together and build this nigga so they can really get some money out of it, and other than some Amiris and a jersey and a hat and wear a chain here and there, man. Come on, man, let's be real. And I'm also questioning why the audience ain't converting, because if you got diehard fans like that and them dudes putting their life on the line, why your fans ain't running over there? Something don't sit right with that. Common sense would tell me something, but I ain't gonna speak on things that's alleged. But young nigga, go start you a LLC and bill him every single day at $40,000 a day or something like that, and send that to his label and tell him you ain't never got to give me no money, buy me nothing, bring me nowhere, nothing. Just pay my company. I done started a company, right? And that's how you get around that, and that's y'all business. I can't involve myself with those situations, but because I'm in that kind of position, I definitely want to put that game out. But definitely don't be a prisoner to your promises, nigga. Don't be a prisoner to that nigga promises. We saw where his promises got shotty. We saw where his promises got mailed and all these other niggas. How we gonna be a prisoner to your promises, nigga? You feel what I'm saying? Now, if anything, you better stand on your word. Same with Whack 100. Y'all getting tricked by the dumb little dude. Know what I'm saying? You got to understand, I'm not a prisoner to your promises, man. You done promised people things and it ain't came through respectfully to you and yours. But let me get that in writing and let's get that together. Yeah, let's do that now.
Shit, nigga, I've been taking risks my whole life
for free.
Let me tell you something.
I get it. You 25. I get that.
All right, bro.
You just beginning to live life. So I'm asking you, right? If it was no money involved, would you have allowed him to come to the project to shoot the video? That's what he's asking.
Yes.
What? If whatever I want. Oh, you talking about
if you weren't gonna get no benefit from it, would you be like, yo, let's pull up to the people?
If I want to.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how real it is, nigga. I'm telling y'all, if I want to, whatever I want to do, I could do. He could come back again. No funny shit. And it's not even no some. I ain't gonna do that because no funny shit. I don't want niggas to say no protection shit. This is for niggas.
I see the gangsters in the back. Hold on. Yo, you, then you.
6ix9ine, the reason why I'm asking that, because me and you both know, let's keep it real. We've been doing a whole lot of plotting and a whole lot of planning. We ain't broke the bag up yet. And Whack ain't changed. Whack be what the fuck he gotta be, do what the fuck he gotta do, make the calls he gotta make, right? Because that's a trust factor that we got.
Know that.
Right? The trust factor we got. Man, I wish these niggas wasn't this deep. I robbed this nigga for this Amiri.
So if you look at, you see a bunch of dudes coming up, but Whack just said something very important right there.
I was thinking about bagging them.
Yo, we not talking.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Yo, wait. Hold on. I want to throw this to Whack. Whack. When you see the people he with, and I'm asking for the internet. These official niggas, everybody got smoke for him. They trying to figure out who in the video. You clearly out there. Yeah, now y'all back here, y'all in the podcast.
These little niggas outside.
We businessmen, you heard? We not animals, nigga.
And we been outside.
We come to us, we gonna take care, we gotta take care. That's it.
It's nothing personal. I need everybody to know it's nothing personal. Nothing personal, bro. If niggas don't respect this, bro, it's nothing personal. If niggas don't respect this, niggas is fake, bro. And I ain't gonna front. I don't know what this. I ain't gonna front. It is what it is. And
let me say this.
I'm done.
Without them, my nuts is dragging across the fucking floor. Hold on.
Crazy.
Without them, y'all could delete this. Without them, and they know this because they see how I move with them. I'm never uncomfortable. I joke the way I joke. I talk the way I talk. And it stay like that. I'm lying. When I pulled up to the hood, hold on.
All right, so I'm trying to understand what the young homie mean, and as you see Tekashi 6ix9ine intervene right there, is because again his rep is taking a hit. He can feel it. It's like, damn, why everybody in here talking about me? I'm a rat. I ain't this. I need them. So let me separate myself and let them know. See, that's his slight way of saying, you know, the money still make me numero now. I can still kind of go to war with whoever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a weird dynamic. Just that high level mental stress to just be in all the time, just worried about position. What do you mean? What that mean? What this mean? What? Like, it's a lot going on. I'm trying to understand what the young niggas mean when they say it ain't personal, because what he done to people is personal. So the people that's coming after him, they coming after him allegedly, or if this is a thing, and let's just say for the sake of a movie, let's say if someone did tell on someone, and let's just say that a man is coming to see a man about a dog. When the man get there to see the man about a dog, I think whoever with him is gonna get looked at like they may have that dog or asked about that dog. You see what I'm saying? And so, in my opinion, your life is personal. Everything personal about my life and my guys on the front line. Yeah, everything personal about that, in my opinion. So again, I think that we just try to justify what we do because it feel weird. Dudes might know that they may not be on the right side of things, so it's like I'm trying to edit that a little bit. We're gonna take a quick break. Got a little bit more podcast to do today. We're gonna talk about Shaq, then we're gonna get out of here, man. We appreciate everybody. 1 second. All right, so clearly Tekashi 6ix9ine is in rapper mode, right? Clearly we're seeing his business model. He thinks that the more people talk about him, the more his streams go up. I'm sure that there is a result of being in the headlines, right? And so with streaming, with it all being metaverse, I'm sure you get some return on that. What I think is also happening is that he's just gonna be a thorn in the side of all of these dudes because he really is kicked out the game, but his money ain't gone. So sometimes you can be out the game, everybody ostracize you. A lot of other rap niggas just waiting on his bag to run out. Once his bag run out, he'll see exactly how everybody feel about him. Right now, he's able to buy a edit. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like in Fortnite. Can't nobody build right now. My children put me up on this. They done took building out of Fortnite. And that just dates this, right? So for those people unaware, but they just took the ability for you to build out of Fortnite. It's like he's in a position to be able to pay for that build, you know, in real time. Like, hey, yo, you usually won't, you know what I'm saying? You usually won't mess with no snitches, but I'm gonna grease your palm. And dudes is going for that. At some point, my audience is gonna have to be louder about the things that I'm early on. My ability to predict and my ability to put together exactly what the game is doing. My audience has to be louder in the communication of that because I just said last week or 2 weeks ago, actually. I said 2 weeks ago when Lil Durk put the little fake Durk in the video, I said, yo, they're thinking over at Durk's camp. This is what you got to do. You got to line yourself with this dude before the ops do it, because somebody's going to line themselves with this dude and they're going to have him in the video getting shot in the head or doing some, like they're going to set him up to do something that's unfavorable to my brand, right? Whether that be salacious activity outside of the, you know, public or in the bedroom, or something's going to happen in which they're going to try to blend this together. So I called that. Durk and them went ahead and put him on the team prior to doing that. As you see, Tekashi, when he got him, done something with him. It's a lot to unpack with this because I'm disappointed in my culture. But let me just explain the chain of command and what's happening and how these things take place and why our culture is so powerful and why me and Wallow have to sit down on this Up There podcast, because we got a lot of game to get to. It's so important, right? So what you looking at right now, or with the Tekashi and Durk, Perkio and all of that shit, that's what I mean when I say, yeah, we control cool, but we got to control business. What Durk should have done was grab little dude, put him in an NDA, and hit him with some paper if he didn't want him. You right? So we got to do business, because just being cool is fragile. That shit is wavering, right? So let me just kind of explain to you how something like this happens. Tekashi 6ix9ine again is in rapper mode. He's back dropping music. He needs interviews. Right, so the relationship you see with DJ Akademiks and his ability to get that interview that we just talked about is a situation that Tekashi needs an outlet. And not only does he need an outlet, he needs a big outlet. The thing about Tekashi and what he's willing to do, he can create a big outlet. So he can take somebody and say some crazy stuff, and then everybody's looking at that particular interview that he has. These spike numbers, right? I know we all playing a numbers game, so we got to do things to get the spike. But I want to carve all you little niggas down. I want to look at you niggas fan for fan, not celebrity status. I'm talking about what he think about your pardon and what she think about his pardon. Fan for fan, right? And then you'll get to see really the impact, because I would like to argue that from an ad standpoint, there should be a difference in we need to figure out a way to quantify the actual listener, right? We can't just give my listener and their listener the same, because my listener listen all the way through. I can drop a 4-hour podcast with just me. My dudes, my people, my fans, supporters, they gonna listen all the way through. Right? Versus, oh yeah, they got bigger numbers than me, but they last 4 interviews was Lil Durk, Kodak Black, Rick Ross, and Donald Trump. So with Tekashi being in rapper mode, he's looking to do things. You see him, shout out CC Show. You see him jump on CC. You see him jump on CC Show, which is like an Instagram thing where they go up. He be getting crazy numbers in New York. Man, I'm talking about, they had thousands of people messing with his stuff at a time, dude, and them doing their thing. They've been doing it for a while. It's one of them things that kind of live on Instagram, but impactful in that culture up there. So you see him jump on that. Then what happens is DJ Akademiks. See, this is where things get slippery. DJ Akademiks needs interviews. He needs the kind of interviews that's gonna put him in a position to be one of the top podcasts. So you see him just do Antonio Brown. That Antonio Brown connection, if I'm thinking right, came through the Nelk Boys. People say, well, Loon, who's the Nelk Boys? The Nelk Boys are the guys that just had Lil Durk after he wrote his album out and said he's doing no press. They just had Kodak Black after he was involved in the shooting. They just had Donald Trump in the middle of a Ukraine war, right? And so for me, with someone with the information, I know who the Nelk Boys is. I know who Full Send Podcast is. I know who Happy Dad is. I know how Pivot is even involved with Happy Dad. I know who they major players in the game, right? From an investment standpoint. I know the young lady that's working over there that came through Sports Center or ESPN or whatever that. I know this game. I have to. There's no way around it. So I know who the Nelk Boys is. I know the Dana White affiliation. I know Rogan and Dana White's relationship, right? There's a lot of dots to be connected. It's a lot to talk about. But when I seen Antonio Brown head over to Full Send Podcast instead of I Am Athlete, when he first had that situation where he had ran off the field, couple different things I said, and go back, pull it up. Loon is I'm a professional podcaster. This is what I do. I said, number one, they're paying for interviews. That's number one. It's one particular guy on the set that I think he's the greasy one. He's the one that gets the job done. And when I say greasy, I mean get the job done. I really don't mean a negative thing in regards to that, but he's gonna pay, he's gonna stay up, certain things he gonna do to get the job done. We all need one of them on the squad. When the Antonio Brown thing happened the first time, right? When Antonio Brown walked off the field with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Antonio Brown decided to go over there instead of I'm Athlete, it was a red flag for me. And not that we have to understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't get your money. I'm telling you that if we don't tell our own thing, if we can be bought, we put ourselves in a very vulnerable position. When you can be bought, you have no negotiation power. Right? When I can go and pay for the chips, they can't tell me I can't put cheese and jalapeno and this and that on them. They can't tell me what to do with the chips after I paid for them. So we got to be cognizant with our brands. And not only our brands, with the ability for us to build a brand. Because when we take off someone like Antonio Brown and run straight to Full Send for a check, what we do before ESPN, before FS1, before any of these other spots that, it's kind of like traditional media, right? Before we go there, if we go to Full Send Podcast, bro, we put ourselves in a very, 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 very vulnerable state. But again, let me explain how we got here, man. There's just so much going on in my brain. I got to kind of gather my thoughts and make sure that I'm conveying this information with a high level of potency and also information involved in it. You asked Loon, how would this happen? I would say when Dirk came out and did $1 million worth of game, I feel as though it crushed DJ Akademiks. I think DJ Akademiks has a great brand, but I think his ability to connect with some of those artists in that way that somebody like me or maybe Wallow and Gilly or some of these other dudes, I think it's just a different connection with him and artists. I don't see it being one that's conducive of really like getting some of that story out that they want to get out, tapping into some of that other side of things that people don't know about. I think they would kind of probably say, hey, we go sit with that. We'll probably talk about the drama, the mess, stuff like that. Not no game. And that's what Loon bring to the game too. And that, I don't want to get off track, but I bring the ability for us to sit down and chop up game and lead a conversation like, man, I can't wait to go back and holler at dude, man. We were talking about this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And also we catering it to our people, right? So our people can not only enjoy it, but they're able to get something from it. I provide information and entertainment. So DJ Akademiks was crushed after he didn't get the Dirk interview. After the Dirk interview, he seen Dirk head over to the Nelk Boys. And when Dirk heads over to the Nelk Boys, what that does as a competitor, as all of us in this space, like what they're about to see me pop out and do with Revolt, a lot of the podcasters are gonna look like, who's that guy? Because that's what's gonna start to happen. It's like, all right, so we're in the same space, and then a move just was made, and it was these people. So who is these people? And so when Akademiks reaches out or looks at who these Nelk Boys are, there's a white podcast. If he's anything like me, you dig deeper, you understand the game, you already dealing with who is who. You know, it's musical chairs a lot of times in regards to these production crews and people behind the scenes, and the level of talent already spoke to you. The level of talent on the show told you that they have to be someone that's connected to someone, right? That's just a period at the end of that sentence. And so I think DJ Akademiks at that point started to watch them. DJ Akademiks, to me, and I'll take it off Akademiks, a lot of these dudes in our culture, not only Akademiks, a lot of the people that's in position in our culture, they have a selfish mentality. And when I say selfish mentality, I want you to understand that I didn't say selfish behavior, because I don't know that to be the case, and I don't know these dudes. But I'm saying the mentality of only appeasing people that's ahead of you. The mentality of only considering people that's ahead of you in the race, or, you know, that you would consider right there by you. That's always going to be a mistake. Because the game will change, man. Then when the game changes, you have no one in position that you helped up. Therefore, no one's going to help you on your way down. These are simple mathematics. So what I believe to be true is DJ Akademiks reaches out to the Nelk Boys to try to create a relationship. Number one, he wants to see how they getting these dudes. Number two, he wants to see, are they paying? Some things he want to see. Right. And in my opinion, he don't come from the street, so he don't know how to get over there in the hood and buy some of the weed. Don't go over there and just asking, man, who got the best weed over here? What kind is it? You know they gonna tell you it's killer, man. This said shit you put there. They said octane, that 93, but it said gas. They gonna say all that. You don't need to ask no questions. You coming for information. So what you do, you push up in the hood and just buy whatever it is. Hey, give me a 3.5 or what the best shit y'all got. And then you go examine what that is you got, and you deal with the information. What happens is, I would like to believe Act reached out to say, hey yo, what's up, man? How y'all guys doing? Try to, you know, just build with them. I'm Act on Spotify, this, that, and the third. Cause they chasing him down. They was number 2 behind Rogan for real. Right? So again, they doing big numbers because it's a guest-based show, man. And the thing I find crazy about us, right, is that when we reach out to white people, we think we gotta have everything we got in our hand. We want to offer something. We ignore our own that's offering us things or trying to put us in a situation to collaborate on anything. We ignore that. And then when we reach out to white people, we expose our whole hand. Man, I can get you Tekashi 69. I can get you Whack 100. Man, I can get you. I imagine that when Act reaches out to them, he provides them a snapshot of who he is, because in this game, especially dealing with those white guys, they got some money or access to money or status in this game. I know how they play. I'm plugged in with them. I know how they play. But we all rich. I don't play the game. But what they do is they ignore, they act like they don't know who you are. And this ain't just them. This is in this game. This is part of the negotiation thing, right? Hey man, it's me, man. It's Up There Podcast-w-slash-looney, man. Sign to revolt. I'm doing a show, man. I would like to see, man. Can I come down and just see what y'all boy doing, or get what y'all dudes on a collaboration, or some kind of deal? They get put something together. And we never heard of you, man. Right? And let's just entertain that they may never heard of Act when he reached out. They can easily make a phone call and validate who he is, right? It ain't about that. It's about putting you under who I am to make you earn your position in my circle. You see, we moving, nigga. And so in my what I like to see happen, or what I would think happened just based on the last few moves I see on the market, I think that DJ Akademiks reached out to the Nelk boys to create a relationship. I think the Nelk boys ended up putting him in a position to get Antonio Brown. I think Act may have helped them get someone on their part. He was undercut by the Dirk thing because he was covering Dirk, thinking Dirk would be on his show, so he was undercut. But I think that he may have helped them maybe get in touch with Ross, because they connected. I don't see anybody directly from his niche, but I would like to think Antonio Brown came through them. Now, Tekashi comes down. This is where DJ Akademiks has to cash that favor in. I can get you Tekashi when he drops this album. Right? And I believe that that's how the Nelk boys got in communication with Tekashi. And that's just me putting that out. Again, I want to deal with this thing in facets because it's a lot of information here that I think we must digest. Right? So Tekashi gets with the Nelk boys. The Nelk boys reach out to the fake Dirk, allegedly to pay him to do something with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Tekashi 6ix9ine runs up on the fake Dirk, and then this video takes place. Let's take a look.
Like that. That's what we gotta do, bro. No, just got bro the jacket. You know what I'm saying? Just the whole jacket. Good, just leave the jacket on. Hey, jacket? I'll show you, look. Look. Like that, that's what we gotta do, bro. No, just got bro the jacket. You know what I'm saying? Just the whole jacket. Good, just leave the jacket on. Hey, jacket?
So, as you see, that definitely seems like the little dude is afraid. I mean, just if you're watching it, look like the little dude is just, you know what I'm saying? It don't seem like he want to be involved with it now. Not wanting to be involved with it and not knowing what you're doing are two different things. Right? Do I think that he didn't know what he was doing? I'm going to have to say no. He had to know Tekashi was on the block. You had to know Tekashi and them, even if they offered you something, right? I also noticed that the little dude got a hell of a little, I don't know if he from Ukraine or what. He sound a little, you know what I'm saying? And, it's just a bit odd how he sounds, man, to look like someone from Chicago. I do want to say this, man, because I know a lot of these dudes ain't gonna say it, man. You gotta be a different kind of bullshit ass nigga, man, to run up on my lookalike and think that's a win. Man, y'all cannot be serious, man. You cannot think that's a W. You run up on a nigga that look like me and done something. I don't even think these little Dirk and Drake, like the Drake nigga, he really ridiculous. The fake Drake nigga is ridiculous, man. Drake got braids and this dude is running around with a heart in his head. Like, man, cut it out, man. Where I come from, man, I despise looking like a nigga. You don't see a podcast looking like me, a podcaster look like me, I don't want to look like nobody, man. That's offensive to me, man. My identity is everything. I'm a black dude, so I already come from where they strip you of your identity. Man, we ain't trying to look like nobody, do nothing like nobody. We inspired, but we ain't trying to, nah, man, that shit is another thing. So the Drake dude is he should be took somewhere and fined. They need to fine him, man. That man don't even got that heart in his head no more. You still getting the heart. You still sitting in the chair telling the barber, put the heart in your head, my boy. Like y'all some different kind of dudes, this new age shit, man. But you gotta be a different kind of nigga to take my lookalike, put a shirt on him and think that's a W. This is why I say we cannot just only control cool. And I don't want to step on my brother Wallow's point, because that ain't what that's for. But I think that as loud as we are about how we control cool, we need to be as loud as we is about how we control business. So the label or somebody should have grabbed that lookalike Dirk nigga. Hey, man, here go 200,000, sign this paper. Your whole little get down for the next 4, 5, 10 years. That your look is the name Perkio. We own the name for that, for this amount of money. You can't be in anything for the next such and such. Point blank, period. And that's controlling business. That's the difference. Because what Dirk thought would happen is what I said 2 or 3 weeks ago. All right, I aligned myself with dude. I embraced him. So he ain't gonna do no sucker shit. But we dealing with civilians and little niggas that grew up on the internet. These dudes don't have no moral or code or understanding of what it is or nothing. That's why I be mad at you niggas that run around and go do shows with these niggas. All you niggas running around and can't wait to sit with X, Y, and Z because they paying. I despise you niggas. I remember there was a time you was a lame if you responded to something on the internet. Now the internet is a arena where a lot of things are birthed. Now, if you don't respond to what happened on the internet, it may mean more than actual reality. Because if they calling you broke online, if they calling you ugly online, if they saying that you don't take care of your children online, some of these things, if they're saying these things online and the truth don't even represent that, sometimes the gravity attached to the metaverse affects the universe. After this Perkio dude linked up with Tekashi 6ix9ine for whatever reason, that's still up for debate and we'll get into that. But after he did that, he was in a situation to where he had to now come online and address the reason why it's going viral. Tekashi put a King Von shirt on the dude that Lil Durk embraced 2 weeks ago. The fake Lil Durk says that he was set up. Let's take a look at that video.
And then they talking about some. I was like, all right, cool. You feel me? I was like, video upstairs and everything. I'm like, all right, cool and everything. And then they talking about some. I was like, all right, cool. You feel me? I was like, 6ix9ine and everything, but I didn't know 6ix9ine was there at all. And then so they said, let's go upstairs. You know, we about to shoot the video. Me and Steve. What was his name? Steve would do it. Yeah, Steve would do it. Yep. Cause I didn't talk to him. I just came and then we was chopping them and everything. And then we went up. When we went up, me and my manager, and my cameraman too. My cameraman was with me. And then them boys ambushed me. I saw 6ix9ine came out of nowhere. 6ix9ine and then his crew. He had a lot of niggas around him too. Like they all came. And then there was that one nigga that came and then start talking to me with a jacket on. I didn't know what was in the jacket. And then he start throwing, everybody ambushed me. Like, literally, like, he threw the jacket on me. And then, like, I started saying, like, this nigga was pressing his arms right here. It was pressing. And then I'm like, yo, I was looking at him. And every of them boys, like, they was filming and everything. They was filming and all that. So I'm like, you know, like, before that, I was like, you know, I don't want to do no video. Like, no video with 6ix9ine, none of that. I said I don't want to disrespect OTF. I don't want to disrespect Dirt. I don't want to disrespect nobody. You feel me? I said I don't want to disrespect nobody, and then they like literally everybody ambushed me and everything. And then 6ix9ine I said what he said. Yeah, I said, you know, no, I think I said I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave. Like I didn't want to stay. I said I'm very uncomfortable right now. I talked to the Stevie Will Do It guy. I said I don't want to do no videos with nobody. I don't want no beef. I don't want no none of that stuff. You feel me? Cause I'm actually, you know, cool with Dirk and everything. Cause he took me as a brother. You feel me? We talk and everything. You feel me? He make sure he showed me love and everything. So you feel me? Like it's like weird. Like it's very lame. 6ix9ine is very lame for that. Like literally, like all of Vince boys like ambushed me. Everybody. Like literally, they came out of nowhere and then they start, you know, ambush me and everything. Like that's 6ix9ine is very like lame, bro. Like lame. That's lame. That's very lame. I didn't know that shit finna happen. I didn't know they set me up. The YouTuber actually set me up. What's his? I kept on forgetting his name. Still Will Do It. He basically set me up. Still Will Do It. Set me up, literally. Cause he's one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform. He hit me up about the collab. He said just being Dirt, cause he had hit up Easy Drake and everything. So I'm like, oh, probably it did video with the Drake lookalike, so he wanted me. And then I'm like, you know, I just went, you know, to collab with him. I didn't know 6ix9ine was gonna be there. I didn't know none of that. So 6ix9ine really wanted, you know, 6ix9ine really lame for that. Like I guess, bro, like this shit crazy. How he does everything for clout. I literally talk in the video. Like on the whole video, I said I don't want to do no videos with no 6ix9ine, none of that. Cause I'm with OTF, I'm with, you know, them boys, OTF, I'm with Dirt and everything. Them boys showed me love and everything. You feel me? Like literally took like I was like a little brother to them. I'm like a little brother to them. You feel me? Like I didn't know none of that. Basically, I wanted to they wanted to collab and I just wanted to collab with the guy because he wanted to collab. They offered me money. I said no, I'm not doing it. They literally offered me money. I said I'm not doing nothing. They said, oh, just want to squash beefs and all that. They want to squash beef and everything. Like literally. Like yo, I will and soon I will drop the video, the ambush video where they ambushed me when I said I didn't want to do no video. Thank God I worked with my cameraman because I wasn't going with the cameraman because this is one of the biggest YouTubers. So I'm like, all right. So you feel me? So that's crazy. Like it's just crazy how that happened. Cause them boys showed me love. You feel me? Like literally, I'm with OTF, bro. I'm with OTF and everything with them boys. They showed me love and everything. Yeah. Like that. This was never supposed to happen. Like
oh no, nah, hold up. Somebody whispering. Hold up. Whoa. Now I'm sincerely listening to this and somebody whispering. I ain't run that back.
Yeah. Like that. This was never supposed to happen. Like never. I was literally supposed to collab with Steve. Steve Will Do It. Like I literally wanted to collab with Steve.
Is Tekashi in there?
Like
yo, bro, somebody
do it. That's the only person I was gonna collab with. When I first came to the building, I saw Still Will Do It.
Tekashi,
he said, let's go upstairs. He was talking about some 6ix9ine stuff.
Yo, hold up, ho. Why do somebody gotta even whisper to you what to say? Like all due respect to your mental stability, but why somebody gotta whisper to you? Hey, this was never supposed to happen. You was I'm supposed to meet with Steve. We'll do it. And I feel very upset and bad that this. Like, why somebody, hey, yo, bro, that's weird. Let's move on. Damn, I can't believe somebody's in there whispering. Like, that's a fact. That's a part of it. I didn't even consider to hear somebody in the background whispering. Now, after this, text messages come out. What's going on, my brother? And see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You see in real time how things happen because it's just on my spirit. Say God is just, the universe is, yo, speak about this. You the only person got the voice, the ability to that's able to articulate things in a way that's effective with these kind of things. Just like now, I'm dealing with an interview. I'm setting up my interview, right? Heading down to the ATL to take care of that. Setting up a couple of interviews with some big names. I got to slide Benny in. I got to slide a couple of these, big names in. And so I'm down at Slim and Husky. Shout out Slim and Huskies. Demo, what's the vibes? They know what's going on. I'm down at Slim and Huskies. We get, me and Benny the Butcher hook up. Him and Harlem, couple of niggas. Somebody with Butcher notices me. Oh, you the dude who said all that about the Dolph thing. Boy, you can't be gangster, boy. I love you. And I connect with Butcher like, yo, I got to get you on the show. This is before I even did my Revolt deal, right? So I'm telling Butcher, yo, I got to get you on the show, man. I'm a big fan of what you do, what you bring to the game. And plus, my ability to get down and have a great conversation, I think it far exceeds what we see on the market, right? And so for me, I'm knowing when I get Butcher on, it's smashing because I'm flooded with information. And so Demo, every time he around me, which is the owner of Slim and Huskies, he does his best to as we have business already in the works, but he does his best to integrate you with people who you have a chance to do good business with, right? So the Trap Museum people are there. So he hooked me with them. They like, yo, bro, you need the building, man. We can get it done, man. If you're in that city, man, the building yours, man. And I'm like, yo, that talk I like to hear. Atlanta, boy. So you got to think I'm in the A. So I'm thinking, yo, it's all black people. Nigga, I'm down. Yeah, nigga, where I come from, boy, they ain't going to lie to you or for you. They going to tell you can't get the building. Ain't nothing going on. These white folk got the clamp on the building. But down here, they done figured out that they can act like they with and this ain't just them, this is the black, this is our culture. We got an issue with springboard and something's happening. And then a lot of times they don't give us enough power to be able to springboard and anything. So anyway, say to myself, boom. All right, so I got the Trap Museum down there. Boom. I'm setting up interviews. Bam, bam, bam. I get a couple of interviews set up. Bam, listen, this is what we're going to do, Trap Museum. This day, we're going to go here, do this, do that, do this and that. I get a phone call. Hey, man, the team said they want to hold off on videoing in the Trap Museum. They looking to do something, I said, what? So okay, listen, trust and believe, bro. I'm in this game for a reason. I ain't in a situation where I'm begging, borrowing, or stealing from none of you boys out there. Let me make a public service announcement. I'm effective on the market by myself. I'm a big boy on the market by myself, man. I hate to, I'm in this weird place right now, man, where it's unfortunate for the people who haven't listened to its-up-there podcast yet or got a glimpse as to what this thing is about to be, right? So for me, I'm pressing as hard as I can to get everything done because I'm working hard overtime. And when you reach back out and say, yo, the team talking about they can't do it, now I'm asking him, tell me, what do you mean by that? He said, well, they said they looking to do some content or podcast thing. They holding off on the podcast thing. I ran it by the team. I said, so you mean to tell me that you running around these couple of points? So you mean to tell me you telling me that you guys came up to me as the operation manager and all these different titles saying that, yo, because it's the culture. I'm thinking we us. It's culture. Oh, this dude, he signed a Revolt. podcast booming over there with Benny the Butcher. This situation met him through Slim and Huskies. How much blacker do we need to get? How much more of a cosign do a nigga need? I come in the game with everything I got. I'm next to the owner, Slim and Husky. Everybody knows Slim and Husky is big business with black folks, nigga. Them niggas went and done they thing. Benny the Butcher is here saying he gonna do it. Niggas in here know who I am. I'm signed to revolt. What else do we need for you guys to say, oh yeah, you can use the building? And they say, they double back and say, they're holding off, and the reason is what makes me wonder. It's just the competition thing, right? We're holding off because we're gonna do some podcasts ourselves. What they got to do with what them two things got to do with each other? What them two things got to do with each other? But again, that's just a small thing that happens in these kind of situations. What I've also noticed as I get up in this industry, in this game, is a lot of the black people you meet gonna be powerless. They're gonna be influential, but they're gonna be powerless. And it's a difference between influence and power, especially when the entertainment industry is concerned. And so what I'm noticing is a lot of the people that's influential are powerless. You know, or a lot of the people who making, you know, they got these prestigious titles and all of these things. They don't know. They ain't really knowing how to really springboard nothing. They know how to manage things. That's why I tell people you don't want to be signed. You want to be supported. Because when you become signed, that's one thing. You want that entity to support you. When they support you, that means they get put backing behind you. They know they stand to make money off your elevation. So let's make this thing elevate. It's a simple thing. But let's get back to this situation with the fake Dirk, Tekashi, the Nelk Boys, the Full Sin Podcast, all these different things. Again, text messages came out that he was entertaining video. He was entertaining. We'll probably play some of it after I speak a little bit about it. But text message came out that he was entertaining conversations of being around Tekashi, entertaining conversations of meeting at a certain spot. He knew what he was doing and things like that. I just want the young nigga to know, right? Because I know a lot of you dudes are civilians, internet dudes, trolls. Like, this is who y'all really don't know how these things coordinate, how they collide, how they live in the same place. Y'all don't know anything about the game or our culture. But that's a spit in the face. As much as I want to blame the little Perkio guy, I also got to give some blame to Dirk them for not putting him in a, like, man, listen, business. We got to control the business. You know what I'm saying? That cool shit only goes so far. Let me deal with Full Sin Podcast for a minute specifically too. I've been watching you guys. I've been watching this Happy Dad Seltzer. I've been watching you. Let me put some framework down as to what it is that I've been seeing. And I want to reiterate this point in part because this is where I decided to actually start paying attention to them. I knew who they were. I seen Tiger over there before, seen a lot of people over there before, right? I've seen people have conversations with them, so I know who they were. And I'm very familiar with Dana White, his circle, the Joe Rogan circle. And I'm not sure Rogan cares for him that much either. I know he acknowledges them and knows them, right? A friend of a friend type thing, but I'm not sure he cares for him so much. But that AB spot was so important to what it is we're going to speak about. AB, in one of the biggest debacles that we've seen from a pro athlete in the last decade, walks off the stage, takes his stuff off and jump on a private jet, Kanye style. Separates himself from the game. Yo, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. It's about principle. Yeah, you ain't gonna tell me I'm out of here. Who y'all think y'all talking to? AB took a stance, right? I disagreed then with the stance because what I say back then. Oh, you done forgot about mama now. Oh, I got enough money. Somebody in your family can stand old scratch on the back now. You niggas is dealing with M's. Elon just spent $43 billion cashed out. And we talking to each other like we got enough money to sacrifice the position. Right now, disrespect is disrespect. It must be dealt with. But it ain't no expiration date on dealing with disrespect. Let's remember that we playing a mental game nowadays. When money is involved, the physical shit's out the window. It becomes not only physical, but physical and mental. Now becomes jujitsu. And that's why I like to call life jujitsu, because when AB went over there, said a few things to me, spoke volumes. Said, number one, he was being paid. Number two, these guys are connected. But I was disappointed he didn't go to I Am Athlete. I felt like, and this is without any inside information, I felt like there was a price tag to talk to our brother at that time. I can respect not talking. But when you put a price tag on it, you outprice us. You outprice us. You outprice your brothers. Right? So I see him go there and talk. But I kind of still at that point disappointed in our culture right then. And that's why I need to be empowered as a podcaster, so I can be at the forefront of these things and giving this game out when it's necessary. Because when we look at game tapes, I don't get none for saying you was right. I get something for saying, yo, you influenced to stop that, or you put some game on them. When it happened, I still had chalked that up to good hustling. I was still kind of in the blind. And these niggas talk about charging me. So I know they charging niggas, and I know somebody over there is willing and dealing. They were getting here, boom, bam. They were getting a whole bunch of interviews done, so I knew they were willing and dealing. So I chalked it up to hustle. And me being such a fan of podcasting, sometimes I can get lost in what you're doing from a business standpoint and not look at you ethically. Not really saying, oh, they skipping the line. But see, the reason why I can give you that grace is because I'm interested in skipping the line. But my reasoning is different. You see what I'm saying? I'm interested in having the real contributor conversations for the culture. That's what I'm interested in doing. Some people interested in getting them numbers to run it up and then sell it. So again, just chalk that one up to good hustling. Them white boys getting down over there. Boy, them white boys getting down. That's what I said. Move on. Kodak Black, boom, shooting out in LA. Kodak Black shot. They had also had Tory Lanez. Look at these names. They also had Shaq. Like, I need Shaq. How, right? So Loon don't got to. I'm signing the revote right now. Powerful. I can. Yo, what Shaq at? Let me get in touch with Shaq. What's up? What we doing? But this. So understand what I'm saying, right? Understand there got to be some leverage somewhere for these kind of names to be showing up on this platform. Tory Lanez did an interview, and this was a while back. I think this was right after the case stuff kind of happened. You know what I'm saying? But then shooting in LA. Boom, Kodak Black shot in LA. Something happened. He been shot after a fight. Some things are happening out in LA. Kodak Black is at the helm of it. Still paralyzed. I see Kodak Black show up on their podcast. I said, damn. Now, Kodak Black, I gotta say this because it's important to the overall point of what I'm making. I'm still waiting on Kodak Black and them to come this up their podcast. But Kodak Black did after that do all his rounds to the people. To the ones that he thought, you know what I mean, that was worth getting it done for. You see, I seen him in a lot of different places, but for them to have him right after the shooting, it told me something about them, more importantly. It told me that they're chasing the headline in long form. Right? Some people are having great conversations. Some people are chasing the same thing that CNN is doing and like reporting. They're doing it just from a long form standpoint, from an interview based standpoint, and that speaks to the business model. They're looking for the numbers like all of us. They're willing to left hand pitch. You know, they're willing to do a little something strange to get it done. So for me, seeing those things said that what the fuck was I saying? And so after Kodak Black, I saw Dirk. Now this is really when I said, all right, boom. First couple things to identify when I see Dirk on Full Send Podcast with the guys that's responsible, according to the fake Dirk, for setting this whole thing up. Aligning Tekashi with this guy after they did the interview with Dirk. This is what makes it crazy. So Dirk goes over there. Now Dirk has been vocal about not doing any press. He ain't done none of our people. I fuck with Dirk. He gotta come do this show. Y'all niggas ain't done none of our people. And then boom, we see him over there with them. So we say, all right, boom, damn, they paid a bankroll. That's number one. I identified that they paid a bankroll. They had to. It's number one. But number two, I identified at that point that we have allowed ourselves to be bought. And being bought is dangerous. I no longer take in consideration a lot of different things. When something is for sale, it speaks to the owner's whereabouts. And again, it gets distorted because our culture is for sale. Hip hop is for sale. These conversations are for sale. There's business being had on the backs of our conversations in our culture, on the backs of music in our culture. So the culture is for sale. But before I deal with the outcome of what you get when things are for sale, I need to deal with the mindset of us in the culture for having our most prized possession for sale. When we say we control cool, when we say we need to be more influential in telling our own stories, but we ignore one another. I see a pattern in the culture, right, where we only connect with those that's ahead of us. And for me, I feel as though we got to break that some kind of way. Some kind of way we got to break that. I ain't for sure how we get there, but I know that to be the case. The culture is for sale, and they outpricing black people. That's what the problem is. The culture is for sale and they outpricing black people. We got 5,000 outlets. We got niggas everywhere doing podcasts and shows. We got networks. We got sports shows. We got all the smoke. We got I Am Athlete. We got all kind of shit going on. We got It's Up There Podcast, Big Facts Podcast, Drinks Champs Podcast. We got all kind of shows all around the world. And we can't find a way to collaborate those. What make you bitches different than the bitches that you niggas talk about in these rap songs? You let these at the Full Send Podcast come over, build their whole brand in the last year or so. Build their whole brand off culture, right? Which is listen, they don't even play with you. They sit next to you niggas with your album about to drop and say, I don't really listen to it like that. And we laugh it off. Hey, yo, get your money, my nigga, but go holler at your people when it come to selling something. And let me be clear with this, because some people will say, yo, Loon, man, it's kind of entitled to thing. Niggas, yo, what I'm telling you is there's a formula when these records come out. There's a formula when these albums come out. There's a formula when there's a launching of an NFT, a launching of a brand. There's things that have to take place by some of the biggest names in our culture. And what they do is they move around us. But how do they move around you, Loon? Well, the culture is for sale, young nigga, and they outpricing black folks. When you hear a man say, I need 85,000 for an interview. When you hear a dude say, yo, I need 40,000 for an interview. Right? If you uninterested, that's one thing. You'll get to them. I'm talking about the ones that mean something in the culture. It's a couple people popping it that you got to go stop by and holler at them for. These dudes is high level game. I find myself feeling like I'm chasing niggas down. I remember reaching out to a rapper and a white boy told me an outstanding number. I lost respect for the rap nigga. He got a white boy in our business. Respectfully. You understand? So I'm looking at it like, yo, it's niggas in position that's supposed to take their brand and build other brands. That's supposed to integrate and collaborate with things that's on the way up to help build those things. You done let them people trick you into just maintain. No, you gotta build, nigga. Kanye built, Diddy built, Loon build, and Jay built, QC building. Niggas is building. You gotta build, nigga. Don't let them trick you into get on and just maintain it. Because guess what you maintaining? You maintaining day business, nigga. You need somebody to come talk to when that career on this downside. You need Loon to push up on you with them cameras out and get some game out to the people to say he still got it. Because they start to paint you away when you want your masters, nigga. Y'all ain't caught on. They gonna paint you away when you want your ownership back, nigga. They gonna paint Snoop away when he try to go get death row. That's part of what's happening out here. So you gotta understand what you up against, nigga. Y'all let these full seeing niggas come through and purchase our culture. Next thing you know, after interviewing Dirk got 2 interviews out. One with $1 million worth of game and one with the Nelk Boys. The people that he done his only 2 interviews with, Wallow is and Gilly gonna stand up for him. They part of our culture. You niggas don't like Wallow and Gilly, that's your business. They part of our culture, man. They doing what they supposed to do. Loon doing what he supposed to do. It's a bunch of podcasts in this space that's operating at a high level. Respect it. Respect it. Only a fool don't respect the truth. Right? So, you see the Nelk Boys. The only other podcast he got is with them dude. And they put themselves in the middle of black folk business. The people dissing dead people, my nigga. But again, once I bought it, you can't tell me nothing about it. This is why you little rap niggas end up getting dissed and slandered on niggas. I can grab hold of one of you rap niggas and go through your background and just start interviewing. Listen, this is what they don't understand, bro. The dude with the platform like me, they're more dangerous. I'm not worried about one of you rap dudes at all. It's nothing I'm worried about. If I was even one of them kind of people, my nigga, I'm dealing with high level game. I go interview everybody around you and create the narrative or create the understanding of what I want my people to understand and move on. Long time ago, somebody said, man, it's better talking about these people than talking to these people, man. And so sometimes rap dudes or people in powerful positions or whatever they think, yo, I ain't gonna do no interview. I can interview everybody around you and get the sign and get the story. That's what the news been doing forever. Right? I'm just giving you the game. I don't even supposed to get that kind of game out, but that's just game. Understanding, right? Far as for, me understanding what it is that I do. But once I buy an interview from you, ain't no alliance. Nigga, you charge me $75,000 for that. But I dare you to say something to me. I dare you to say something to me. But again, it speaks to, I ain't got no dog in the fight with these dudes. I ain't part of that culture. I don't care nothing about that culture. I only got him because it was clicks. He had an album out and it was clicks. I ain't interested in black folks like that. I'm talking to rap dudes that got clicks that people want to. That's it. And niggas run over there with their mouth open, smiling. First thing you do is ask yourself, yo, who is these dudes? How is they getting these interviews? How they getting all our people? Nigga, I'm Big Loon, its-up-there-podcast, 500,000 on me. 500,000 listeners on me, nigga. Big Loon, it's up there, 500,000 listeners on me. Nigga signed to Revo TV. I can't get Snoop, dawg. I can't get Shaq. Nigga, and I'm putting major game down in the culture. Nigga, in 14 months, I've been able to do, I can lay it all out to you, man. A 7-figure situation on 2 sides of the spectrum. I can't get Snoop, dog. I gotta go through hoops to get niggas to run, to get niggas on It's Up There podcast. But they gonna show up, they think White Ice colder, my nigga. If it ain't, they don't think, if it ain't that, it's the culture's for sale and they outpricing black people. Yo, luckily, I come out the street. Luckily, I've been able to have to operate with a whole bunch of game because I had to figure things out on my own. Literally, right? In the street, myself. I didn't have to go through my partner had a good number on something. I had to figure out how to get me a good number on something. Right? So my mindset has always been self-sufficient. So luckily I maneuver in the podcast space in a way where I'm gonna get it done by myself. I'm effective in front of the mic on the camera by myself because I'm dealing with experience. Right? It's like in the new wave. In this new wave of podcasting that's about to happen and everything that people is about to see, it's about to be a new surge of guys. I'll be at the helm, but I'm about to blow the structure up really quick. And what I mean is the way the interviews go, the style, the way that niggas look at podcasting, the vibrato, the braggadocious behavior, the whole vibe that come along. I'm about to change all that really quick, right? Then I'm gonna pull it all the way back in and let the people know that I just changed the entire game. Right now, I'm bringing to you high level game. I ain't doing the little shit that dudes is doing, right? And I'm not reading no books. I'm talking to my people. I'm part of us. I'm part of the whole beat of it. I'm just talking to my people. I might stutter. I might say the wrong word. Not that it hurts the quality of the show. What I'm saying is you dealing with the real, authentic, organic thing. And what I'm about to do with that is I'm about to introduce in a time. It's almost like with the cell phones when they were giving people rollover minutes and then boom, unlimited came, changed the whole game. That's what this is. But can somebody out there, is this thing on? Can somebody out there explain to me why the Nelk boys, it's up there podcast is in a supreme situation. There's plenty. You got all the smoke AB could have went to. I Am Athlete he could have went to. You got Dirk could have come holler at me. Y'all gotta holler at and do 2 things. I know what it's about. I know the paper on the other side. I know that white boys paying. They got a budget over there. They look like they got a budget. Them white boys don't look like they don't got no budget. But what I'm saying to my people is, number one, is it a culture vulture if it's for sale? You know how a nigga pay you $5,000 for some pussy and treat you horrible because you charged him high. These rap dudes so money hungry, they don't see that the comeback is always the play. So you gonna charge him $75,000 for an interview and he gonna pay it smiling because it's a budget thing. But he gonna, in the back of his mind, I just paid you $75,000. He can't say nothing about me doing Tekashi or what Tekashi say. Now, it's a problem when you set Tekashi up with someone to then diss my dead people. You done got in black folk business. You don't know how black folk business go. This ain't no game. This ain't no internet game. They dissing dead people, my guy. You got somebody dead, y'all don't give a shit about them. See, y'all play them different kind of games. I'm sorry you don't care about it, but it means so much on this side of the street. For you to orchestrate that play, for you to be at the quarterback position, and see, rap niggas think that the culture and being cool is really money. They think, oh, he won't do me like that because I did an interview with him even though I charged him. When you say you charging for an interview, that means that you really don't believe that what I'm doing is gonna help you. Right? Because when you see it's mutually beneficial, we tend to be quiet about, we tend to waive our fees. When it's mutually beneficial, we tend to waive our fees. But when I'm reaching out, yo, man, I want to get you on the thing, and you charge me $5,000, I got you. But now, remember that. Gotta be better, though, man, at building our own shit up. With Full Sin, man, I'm just disappointed. I'll probably speak about it next week. Just extremely disappointed in how our culture. I can't even really blame them white dudes. Because this shit for sale. Y'all niggas selling this shit. Y'all niggas is for sale, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I called it. I said, yo, you want to align yourself with him, but that ain't enough. We got to do business. Yo, if I think Loon is podcast popping, that's why I understand the difference between talking and really doing business. Like, if you believe in what Loon doing, you supposed to have, hey, let's create something over here and do something. Because this is my baby. Me and Revolt gonna take this to the next level. But if there's a situation where anything can arise that is, hey, yo, let's figure that out and let's really get that done. Support that in a real way. Right? But don't think, yo, you gonna charge me a number for an interview and then, right? No. That's number one. Number two, we as rappers, as influencers, as podcasters, we got to do a better job at sharing our platforms so we can help build some of the voices that's going to be able to step up and say, yo, that's wrong. Or somewhere where you comfortable coming to. Or say, let our coach give us an opportunity. Hey, let our culture know, my nigga. Reach out to Loon. Reach out to Loon and Revolt. Say, we looking for $75,000 for this interview. I'm going to be upset about that, but business is business. Let's see if we can get a sponsor. Say, Detavio, can we reach out to who we deal with? Okay, can we reach out to them and see if they want to get in ahead of this Dirk interview that's about to drop? Like, give us an opportunity to create a space for each other, my nigga. I just think it's unfortunate that we jumping soon to money. He got 80,000. Let's go. If there's a play out there for 80,000, let's see if the market wants that 80 with some of our people first. That's all. And then when we go there, like let's know what it is. Cause we still want to go pick that 80 up now. I'm a real nigga now. I ain't doing no capping about no podcasting or trying to fit in, nigga. I'm telling her. So we still want to pick that 80 up now. But if I'm going to do one for 80, I'm going to put it out to my people. Y'all can match me for the 80. You know what I'm saying? And don't try to get it from Loon, an independent podcast. But if we can get with, Chevrolet, if we can get with, Cash App or one of these brands and put that together, then that's a play that we can make for each other. I'm just disappointed that we just quick to run soon as that little paper call. The culture for sale, my nigga, they outpricing black folk. All right, so another episode. Fastest growing podcast on the market right now. I want to thank everybody that has listened up until this point. We had a nice long podcast today. I want to reiterate a few things and then we'll come back with some interviews about to drop. It's Up There Podcast. Let's go.